Gogi is wrong. I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not. No, that's not right.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the songs with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him. I never hated him. I never traded him. And if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side floor. Gucci a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever. Cute as could be, you can watch on YouTube with view for French. Ay, this one time for the Twitch, this one time for the text, this one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
Boy,
Hello.
you know Detroit played another overtime game.
Sure did.
And now I'm even more pissed off. You want to know why?
I got a feeling it has to do with what Giannis did.
No. Because guess what?
What?
The Detroit player had 2 free throws at the end of the game, and he missed both of them.
No, who had it? Duran? It was Duran.
No, it was
He shoots 91% too. That's what made it worse.
Malik Beasley. Might have been Beasley.
No, it's the younger guy.
But the problem is missed them both.
Free Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
There's nothing more humiliating than that. I've decided in sports, nothing is more humiliating than giving people the free chicken. You know, it ruined the play.
Failure.
Yeah, your failure giving everybody the free chicken. Caleb Martin did it last year in the
Ronald Holland.
Ron Holland. Oh, he's very young. I could understand the nerves there.
But that's not the
one.
point.
How many free throws does he have? Like 2? He's a rookie. He's played 10 games.
But here's the problem though. If you get in that situation and it's for the tie, you can mug him. He got to make 2 shots instead of 1 to tie you.
No, Giannis got caught the same way that Terry got caught, which you don't expect from a 2-time defensive player.
I don't expect it. Well, you're right. But he fouled him.
He got caught, and he fouled. They claimed that they said that he fouled him. And listen, if it happened to Giannis, it could happen to Bam and Terry. It happens.
My point is, foul him. Make him burn him.
Yeah, those were his first missed free throws of the season. That's crazy. He had one miss.
But I'm just saying.
That is annoying.
Terry's already in a bad spot.
Right.
So make him earn him. I would just hug him. You see what I'm saying?
Giannis
if you go to Stone and say, I couldn't give up that freebie.
Giannis a little weird at the end of the games. Remember the one where he just threw it to nobody against the Heat because he was afraid to go to the free throw line?
Oh, my God. But he did have 59.
But he did have 59 points.
And,
he did have
59. That was even crazier.
Looks like a guy that likes to play without Damian Lillard, if you ask me.
Did you see his celebration afterwards?
But Damian likes to play without Giannis.
All I'm saying is the last 2 nights, Leroy and Tobin, I've seen superstars on their home court
celebrating the hell out of these.
Celebrating after some wins and having to allow me to reintroduce myself. This is my house still. This is my ish.
Oh, like everybody's copying D-Wade.
Oh, they are copying.
See, people
D-Wade.
say they don't like the statue.
They don't like the statue. They didn't say anything about the
celebration. Wait. See, the statue is hideous.
I maintain it's a good statue.
But the moment, and that's what D-Wade said, is capturing a moment. That moment will live on forever. Everybody remembers it.
I'm telling the Heat fans, just go give it a looky-loo. It looks good.
Wait, once you get from that statue what it's meant to be, D-Wade, in his own words, the statue was not made to look like me. It was made to capture a moment.
I think it captures a moment that also looks like him.
No, it doesn't.
I think it does.
Intangibles can't tell black folks what they look like.
That's not fair.
Tobin.
Like, you can't just notice for that part of you and make me scared.
Black. Is that not
Always
accurate?
use that.
Is that not accurate?
That's factual.
Yes.
It's accurate. It's just facts. No. And it does not look like that young man.
I think it has angles. I'm
No,
telling you.
angles.
Everything has angles.
It has
you know?
angles. It has angles.
You know?
it
Hey,
does.
just imagine.
You want to make
Just imagine if you wanted to meet a girl.
Think.
Wait, think about this. If you wanted to meet a girl, you had to look at her for every angle before you made the decision. You know, if I look at her while I'm sitting down looking up, she look good.
And that's not going to you.
It don't work like it.
The Heat will be back on the practice court today as they'll get ready for a Friday matchup against the Indiana Pacers. We'll
I'm
see.
worried.
I want to know how Spo. I just want to see what's Spo looking like today. That's all I need.
Hey, I tell you what, we ain't gonna have no over enthusiastic walks for a couple of weeks. He on restriction.
Do you think they're
Or he could be like Tua and he's just throwing his head into the fire again. You know, you never know.
Oh yeah,
they're practicing that play over and over? How to defend it?
I think he's going to take out frustration. He's making them sprint today.
Here's the deal. Here's the crazy part. It has plagued the league these last couple of nights.
Nobody can defend it.
And here's the funny part. Detroit went back to back with it.
Yep. Anybody scouting?
No, but it's just, you know what happens when you, and here's what happens in basketball. You have a whole bunch of like pre-snap movements that get you to the same place, and the other guys don't realize it's coming. So you might have guys running around. Then they come around, like, oh no, the same play. And that's what happened to Giannis.
Oh man, it's something, man. Panthers also back on the ice tonight. They take on the New Jersey Devils. Puck drops at 7:00. We'll get into some Dolphins. You got Thursday night football tonight. Eagles host the Commanders, and a lot of crazy things.
You think Commanders going on the slide now? Because they didn't look very good.
They did not look very good. I don't think so.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You think they didn't look good against Pittsburgh, another team that was on top of their division?
Yeah, they only lost by
8 points.
Yeah, that's true. Let me take that back.
And they might have been jobbed off a call.
There's a lot of people. There are people wondering, like people are wondering if they got a little Dolphins in them from last year. They fluffing up on the bad, but they're not getting different. What?
You know why you can't say that about them?
You literally just started criticizing them.
Huh?
You literally
no. No, I was criticizing them. I'm just asking, are they going to hit that, that stretch because they've been so good?
Right.
But here's the deal. When you've been at the bottom of the division for however many years,
sure.
Like you right now, everything you do is gravy.
Oh,
because you see, and every fan is going to look at him and say, "Okay,
it's not an apples for apples. It's not apples for apples." But people wonder with the Dolphins, did you fatten up on bad teams? And there's a little bit of that with them. They did beat the Cardinals pretty handily, and the Cardinals have turned out to be pretty decent.
They get away with it. You give them a pass.
Oh yeah, for sure,
because they have a rookie quarterback. The Dolphins.
Listen, Eagles just got the kiss of death because everybody on Jet Up just picked the Eagles. So
taking the Commanders now.
Taking the Commanders, dude. Taking the Commanders. All right, we'll take a break coming on up. We got some fun stuff coming up this hour and next hour. Got some UFC stars hopping by the show today. Bo Nickal. He's basically like American Khabib. He's smashing everybody. He's you can't make his odds fat enough or he's like minus 2,000 every fight, but he is taking on like his first real UFC vet here in Paul Craig, Scottish. And so this should be an interesting test. He'll beat him probably in a round. Anyway, we'll talk to Bo coming up later on this hour. Chris Weidman, the legend, beat Anderson Silva, knocked his ass out to take his middleweight championship when Anderson Silva was untouchable. He's kind of going out on his own terms. He wants to go out with a legit win. He snapped his leg 3 fights ago. I was there building for that.
It is by far the single-handed worst injury in that sport to me.
Yes. Yep.
Because they kick all the time, and you don't know when that thing is coming.
It's really gross.
Oh yeah.
It's really gross, but he's a legend. He's fighting in New York coming up this week, so we'll talk plenty with those guys. Looking forward to some fun with them and lots to dive into on this show. But Leroy, what do we got coming up this week? Those guys are tough men, strong men. They're tough, and we want to let everybody know what's coming up this weekend with Alonzo Mourning as the Miami Heat have a health summit coming on up, and Zoe is doing some really great work. Tell them about it, Leroy.
Here's the deal. Like, we all know we try to walk this earth as men, being strong, tough. But when it comes to our health, we ain't hurt. We got it. But it's time for us to start being smart, especially if you're 45 years or older. There's certain tests and screenings that you must have when you get about that age. And I want to invite you guys to join Alonzo Mourning and other special guests, including Dan Marino, Ed Jovanovski, at the Miami Heat Men's Health Summit on November 16th. That's this Saturday. And learn how to take a proactive approach to your health from some of the country's most renowned health experts. Plus, you can enjoy fun activities, giveaways, raffles for autographed prizes, and more. There's no time to waste. Come and get a health screening like Alonzo Mourning did. It saved his life. It could save yours. It's go time. It's Zoe time. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/Zoe time. That's baptisthealth.net/ZOTIME.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. It's 560 WQAM. Comedian Tom Segura is bringing his Come Together tour to Hard Rock Live on Thanksgiving Eve. And we got your chance to win tickets to see him. Just keep listening to our show for details on how you can win. I'm going to Hard Rock Live tonight. Taking the fam to go see some Stars and Strings tonight, Leroy.
Oh, are you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You're going to see. My daughter's excited to see Tennessee Orange Girl. So
I'm wondering if I'm gonna go and take that trip that I take every around Christmas. Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Mm.
Yeah. I tell you what, you get a whole lot of bang for your buck with them.
Look at you guys cultured.
Trying to get after it.
No, what are you talking about? Culture. He's looking for the drinks with the fancy hats and stuff like that.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, last time I remember going to Hard Rock Live, we went to Bare Knuckle. We went to Dada 5000.
Oh my goodness.
Bare Knuckle, and the funniest
Everybody
thing,
was crying.
Leroy and I walk by the concession, and I look and I see Froze. And he goes, "You can't be drinking that." I'm like, "Maybe I will." He goes, "If you drink it, I'll buy it for you." And so he got me the Froze in the giant frozen mug.
Yeah.
So I was just sitting here.
I want him to walk around just like, yeah. Come on. I'm like, yes, big man drinking Froze.
Drinking Froze at a bare knuckle fight. So it's
kind of awkward when they do fights in there. The way, right? Because it's an auditorium setup. It's not like a arena.
Well, you know what's cool? One of the cool things in a fight is when people walk through the crowd, right? And like it's tough there because now everybody walks from backstage. Nobody walks through the crowd there.
Right.
You know, so it does lose a little something. I'm with you there. It's not awful, but it's not the same.
It's not awful, but it's not, put it this way, it's not what you're accustomed to.
Yeah.
Right? Because, usually they have the lights. The fighters come through the lights, through the crowd, walk around the front, but now they just pop up in the ring. Bing!
Yep. Here we are, everybody.
Here we are.
We're here.
Crying. First of all, Vlad, let me tell you something. There's blood in fighting. Like somebody will get a cut, MMA, somebody get an elbow.
But bare knuckles is different.
Woo!
Oh, dude.
There's a cut within 12 seconds of the fight. And here's the thing, because you bare knuckles, they ain't throwing a whole bunch of punches.
Well, not only that, but the thing is, like, the Dadas is crazy because they have the Trigon, which is like there's legitimately nowhere to go. Like
nowhere to go without sticking yourself in a corner.
You can't, and it's wild too because, and then even like BKFC, they don't start the fight. Every fight usually starts, you're on your side of the ring, you're on your side of the ring. But in bare knuckle, you toe the line. So you sit right in the center and start banging at each other. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a pretty wild sport. I remember going to one at the Intercontinental and I saw a boy Yuli knock out a dude in 3 seconds. I'm like, how is that even possible? But it's because he didn't have to walk across the cage. It was literally like 1 punch, 2 punch, dead. Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy.
I got to tell you, I'm glad we don't have to go to them low budget fights.
Why not?
When the snacks are hot dogs and frozen pizza.
Well, that's true.
Oh, you just don't care about the concession stand at those fights. That's all.
Like to be in a place where there's
Dude, when we go to the when we went to that one in Palm Beach, the Palm Beach what was it?
Convention Center.
Convention Center.
We saw our boy Tyrone Spong fight.
Yep.
And
you could tell, dude, we saw a fight where I looked at Tobin and I'm like, there's no way they're in the same weight class.
Nope.
And one guy came out, you could tell who they were promoting. He had on the fancy pants.
Well, that's the fascinating thing. We're having Bo Nickal come on here in a bit. And fascinating, he didn't really have a regional scene. Like I think he did like one. I think he fought in Masvidal's promotion for his first fight. And then he went right to Dana White's Contender Series. He won in a minute. And then he's like, can I go to the UFC now? And Dana White's like, one more time. And so he made him come back, impress him again. He did it and he won in less than a minute. and then he signed to the UFC. So he got to the UFC in 3 fights officially.
You
Right.
can tell Dana White and Vince McMahon were friends,
No, they weren't friends. They probably would have been friends if they weren't rivals.
but they ended up being under the same umbrella.
They did, but that was a weird thing because I think Vince McMahon tried to buy the UFC. Like he tried to put him out of business. There's a Chael Sonnen tells a crazy story where he said Chael Sonnen claimed that if he beat Anderson Silva, he got an offer, I think, for like $1 million to just show up to Raw the next night with the belt, and he's right under contract. And don't tell Dana White, don't tell anybody. But he said he didn't do it.
Yeah,
And he obviously lost too. But
Vince is notorious for that. But I'm just saying that's the mindset that they both have. Like thinking about, you know what? Prove it to me one more time.
we'll talk a little fighting. Bo Nickal scheduled to join us. He's fighting in UFC 309. We'll talk some fighting, shenanigans, and all that type of stuff with the UFC undefeated sensation coming on up. He's fighting this weekend. Take a break. Back after this. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hey, join WQAM and Hollywood from the Joe Rose Show this Sunday at 1 o'clock from Tamarack Moose Lodge on Rock Island Road in Tamarack. You guys can watch Miami take on Las Vegas in pro football action, enjoy ice-cold beer specials, and get yourself entered to win a golf foursome to the Jacaranda Golf Club in Plantation. This game coming on up. Leroy, do you know who coaches the offensive line for the Raiders?
Is it the Big Grains falling?
It is not Big Grains falling. I believe he is still with San Francisco.
He's the highest paid offensive lineman in the league, too, isn't he?
I don't know.
Coach.
I believe at one point he was. I don't know
He was
what
making like $4 million a year.
I don't know what post scandal, like if he was able to bounce all the way back.
But he got another job. That is the bounce back.
I know, but I don't know if you're able to get the big payday. Maybe they get him on a budget and be like, hey, listen, we all saw the video. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, it's O-line Coke?
Oh, yeah. Big Grain's falling.
Oh,
it's not him, though. It's not him.
Okay.
He's in San Francisco still. No. Our old friend, Joe Philbin.
What?
Joe Philly?
Yep. Joe Philbin.
He just getting jobs now because let me tell you, he wasn't no offensive line coach in Green Bay before he got the Dolphins job.
I think he was. I think that's kind of his bag, is offensive line.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was, remember, everybody thought he was the offensive coordinator.
Well, he was the offensive coordinator, but he didn't call plays. He was just with Aaron Rodgers and probably made nice binders when he.
Well, here's the thing with some coaches. When you look at like Andy Reid, you look Sean Payton, these are guys that may not have the title of offensive coordinator, but they call plays.
Yeah.
Because that was Bieniemy's thing.
Yep.
Is that he wanted to get where he could do his own thing.
I don't think he's anywhere. That's what I'm aware.
He's not anywhere because as soon as he got to Washington, the coach got fired.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
But that's he wanted. The problem is that everybody, even though he was the offensive coordinator, everybody was looking at Andy Reid.
It is he is the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator at UCLA.
Oh, that's right. And they are doing just lovely.
Oh man. Well, we had to know from their open presser that wasn't necessarily going to go. Oh man, was it Deshaun Foster? Is that the head coach? We're in LA.
Yep.
Former running back?
Yeah. Crazy, dude. Crazy. That was a weird Big Ten media day. I didn't realize that we was doing the show. I didn't know something viral was going on behind us. Where like this guy's like welcoming himself to the Big Ten, and he's like,
"Yeah, we're in LA.
We're in LA." Let's go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop hundreds of Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. A man who was in the Big Ten himself, a monster in the Big Ten, Bo Nickal. He is going to be fighting at UFC 309 this weekend. Bo, thanks for joining us again, man. How are you?
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate y'all having me on. I heard some Big Ten discussion. What's up?
Wait, are y'all gonna ever get over the hump? It just seems like every year they're right there, and then they have those 1 or 2 games where they just. This year was Ohio State. Just can't. It's close.
I know. I stopped getting my hopes up. It's a tough kind of situation to be in as a fan. Of course, I want the team to win, and I believe in them, but I feel like they got to get some type of momentum and start believing in themselves in these big games, because I think the person that wins the big game, it's not the person that maybe has even the best players or the highest level of skill. You just got to go get it. You just got to really want it more than that.
Especially
other
in
team.
College.
Yeah, you just got to make it happen, and we haven't done that so far. So it's been disappointing, but luckily with the expanded playoffs, we'll maybe get another shot. You never know what could happen once you get into that position, and so we'll see. But I feel like this team is talented. They're good, but they just got to get a little more belief in themselves.
We've become kind of like adjacent Penn State fans because of Chop Robinson this year on the Dolphins. He finally got his first his first official sack celebration last week. So we're fired up for Penn State. We're rooting for that pipeline.
Let's go. Yeah, I appreciate that. We got a lot of fans, but we could always use more.
So this fight coming up here, Bo, I mean, this is obviously everybody loves watching your fights because they want to see how fast you can smash somebody. Like that's kind of become the thing, but you're taking on like a real veteran here in Paul Craig. Like, are you anticipating this to be a longer night at the office? Do you want to still go out and be a buzzsaw like you've always been? Like, what in this matchup are you expecting with the guy with the experience that Paul has?
When I look back at my wrestling career, my best performances, I didn't go in with this super detailed, strict game plan. I had more of a general idea of what I want to do, and I'm still game planning, but it's a little more open and leaves room for creativity. And so I'm kind of going in the same way for this fight where, I think that if you kind of lock yourself down into the fight has to go this way or it has to go that way, then what if it doesn't? And then you have a hard time pivoting. So for me, this camp has been a big focus on just getting better overall, improving all of my skills. He's definitely got a lot of experience and he's got some positions he's really good at. So I worked on those positions specifically, but I feel like going into this fight, I'm just very open-minded and just leaving room to be creative and figure it out as we go.
Are those the best fights to go into where you have a level of uncertainty fighting another guy, or when you have an excellent idea of what he's going to do and sometimes it takes you a while to adjust if he does something different?
Yeah, I think that for me, I enjoy the unknown a little bit. Like my last few fights, it's almost as if you can't get as hyped because it's like, this isn't that big of a challenge and I'm not as excited. I'm not, for me, the bigger the challenge and the more high pressure, the better I'm going to do just because I love it and I enjoy it. And that's what I live for. So with this, it's definitely something that I think that this is a bigger challenge and I'm going to go put on an amazing performance. I don't have any doubt about that. I think that the game plan is pretty solid, but I want to leave room to improvise as well. I don't like when people get themselves into a situation where something goes wrong in the fight and there's panic because they're like, oh crap, what do I do now? I didn't expect this. So I'm not really I don't have that specific of expectations.
Is there any part of you that feels like, do you remember like the last time we talked to you, you were very measured on like, you don't want to rush things because everybody has big expectations. I'm sure you have big expectations of yourself, but do you feel like as the more rounds and training you get under your belt, like, do you feel like the itch to like vault to the top because everybody knows what your talent is? Do you feel like that's going to get higher on yourself to be like, all right, now I want to be taking on a title contender. I want to be right there in the mix as soon as possible. Like, do you have to fight that at all? Or do you feel like it's getting to an appropriate time where you want to be at that spot?
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely, in my mind and part of my thought process. It seemed like, I had these big goals for so long and they were so far away. I almost like couldn't see them, even though they were on my mind. And now I feel like as I'm improving so much and getting these bigger fights, fighting tougher opponents, now it's like I can see them. They're right there. They're really a couple fights away. And that actually gets me more motivated. I felt this camp was the most motivation I've had to compete in a really long time. And I think it's because I am inching closer to those goals and I'm getting within striking distance of them.
You have gone pretty fast, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you have gone. Toby was just telling me the story. Like it was the 3 fights you were in. So you have gone a lot faster than most.
Do you ever miss, I'm sure you being down here in South Florida, I'm sure you went to plenty of regional cards, but do you does there part of you that's like, man, I really never fought in like a scummy fairgrounds or something like that?
Yeah. It's funny. I look at, so my first amateur fight was actually super crazy. It was in Pensacola. And I did there was a lot of people there because it was the main event was a YouTuber boxing thing. And so they had a lot of fans and stuff, but dude, it was crazy back there. People were drinking and smoking. Some dude knocked a girl out and the cops came in and arrested him. And Yeah, we were in a boxing ring, like not even a MMA ring. Like it was crazy. So I got a little bit of it, just a little taste, and then I moved on pretty quick.
I remember Leroy and I, one of our first trips to Vegas, our buddy wanted us to go to the Hooters casino, and we walk out by the pool and there's a weigh-in happening at the Hooters casino. And we're like, this can't be very high. This cannot be very high level here.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. No, I actually love that though. So some of my buddies, obviously, they're getting their first fights, first amateur fights, first pro fights. And so I'm pulling up to some of these places and we have stories for days about just the things we see. It's such an interesting, it's the Wild West for real.
Oh, it is. Because my favorite is, the fighters are required to bring a certain amount of guests. So they got to sell a certain amount of tickets.
Yeah.
And the fights are always in the crowds with all the tickets they sold and not necessarily in the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wild.
It gets real tribal real quick.
Yeah.
We saw you mix it up a little bit with Jon Jones at the media day. Are you? I wonder from your perspective, seeing him back in the ring, like admiration for a guy like that to come back, and I guess what was that like? Just feeling it out a little bit next to Jon Bones Jones.
Oh yeah, 100%. Every time me and Jon see each other, it's on site. We got to get some grappling in. Got to test the waters out. UFC 285 was my first fight in the UFC, and he was main event, and we did the same thing. But yeah, I think he got me the first time. I might have got him this time, so we're 1-1. We'll need to do a trilogy. But yeah, Jon's the man. I feel like just being around him, you get this crazy. He's got this crazy energy and aura. Like he has beat everybody in the world. Just such a legend of the sport, and so I'm very grateful, very appreciative to have not only shared one card with him, but two, and this one potentially being the last fight of his career. I think he's got a couple more left in the tank, but you never know. So we'll see. Right. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for it, excited, and I study him so much with his previous fights in his film. So just being around him is a cool experience.
Now you, Bo, you obviously another big fight coming up this weekend is Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. You host a podcast for Jake's network. How much are you? There's no way. Do you have any interest in this? Like, are you a little scared to watch what's going to happen? What do you feel are we going to see on Friday before your fight coming up on Saturday?
I'm definitely excited for it. I'm going to be watching. I feel like that's such a crazy thing, right? Like, who in the world thought that would happen? I don't know. I never predicted it. I don't think many people did, and it's really going down. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm a massive boxing fan, so I love watching boxing. I love watching old Tyson videos and stuff like that, and I've been kept up with Jake's career, so I feel like it's one of the greatest boxers of all time versus a guy that started off on the Disney Channel but is now a real legitimate pro boxer, and the only thing that really separates him is age, so it's like
that's a big thing though.
It's massive. Yeah, that's what I feel like. Obviously if we're talking about a 28-year-old Mike Tyson, we're talking a different story, but we're talking about I don't know, was he 58? That's like 58, yes. He's 58, so that makes me a little nervous, to be honest. There's not very many people 58 years old competing against young guys in their prime, so we'll see how it goes.
What's the oldest person you would be comfortable competing against? Like, is there a limit? You're like, I won't fight a 50-year-old. Like, if Bo Nickal had to get into the cage, they're like, well, Bo, he's Randy Couture is coming out of retirement. We'd really love to see what you could do.
They write the check. It's all good. I'll take him out, no problem.
Bo, appreciate it, man. Good luck this weekend, and we'll be watching, man. It's always a pleasure watching you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go. Bo Nickal watching him at UFC 309 this weekend against Paul Craig on the pay-per-view main event.
Hey, he did kind of have your thought process. Like, 58.
I gotta say, man, I was watching a little bit of the countdown yesterday. I watched two of the episodes of Countdown to Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, just because I was just like, hey, you know what? Let me just see if this gets me into it. And
dude, Jake Paul is a moose.
He's a moose.
He's a giant.
And then the thing is, like, the ulcer thing. Like they did the behind the scenes of him, and he's like, he was genuinely like, Mike Tyson was like, I thought I was gonna die, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't know if I like this. But he looks, I mean, like, look, he looks strong. He's obviously working his ass off. It was kind of cool to see Tyson actually train where it's not on Instagram and see him in action.
He looks great for 58.
He does look great for 58. He looked great for 58. It was a funny part where he goes back to Brownsville and him and Shannon both took their shirts off and they're like wrestling in the street.
That's why that you see, that's the reason why
It's the thing that, you know what? It's the thing that just draws you to this is that the Mike Tyson 35 years ago was unapproachable, right? And now people have, with this turnaround in his life, like people are like legitimately like interested.
One guy
What
came
is
up
he
to him
gonna
and
do?
One guy came up to him in Brownsville and was like, "You robbed me when I was a kid." And he goes, "I'm sorry." He goes, "Nah, it's no big deal." Oh, it's an honor.
Mike gave me $100 as a kid.
Did he really?
Did.
That's kind of nice.
Well, I mean, he was coming off from a long night.
Oh,
hey, remember the time he bought a sports car and he couldn't drive stick and he gave it away and went and got another one?
He gave legendary hip hop DJ Ed Lover from from Hot 97 New York. He would just one day after a long night just gave Ed Lover his like sports car and left it with them. Like Ed told him, like, Mike, you still got my car. I still got your car in the back of my house. He's like, no, that's yours. Like, that's yours. I gave it to you. Young Mike back in the days, as wild as he was a very generous young.
Like when we saw him in the club, he was sitting at a table and we just went up, sat with him. He didn't talk much, but
he ain't talking.
He was
didn't talk much, but
I think his teenage daughter lives down here because there was a part of where he went to Miami. Like, I guess it was probably the trip that he went on before he got sick. And there's a point where he wants to take his daughter shopping at the Aventura Mall, and it's just mayhem. But he goes out and she goes like, do you like this? He goes, it's what I always dreamed of. I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Right.
Mike, listen, it's
I think he dreamed of being in a place where he could deal with it. Because early Mike Tyson,
I'm sure
he loved it, but he was probably really annoyed by it.
I'm sure he was a few gummies in to be in a calm place.
Like, it's just...
No, I mean, legitimately, people say this about like it's a coin flip. You don't know sometimes. Like, what mode is he in?
You can see him when he does interviews.
Which is why I'm excited about tomorrow night. What if they don't give him the gummies?
And you get Mike. You get
1986
Iron Mike.
You get
Iron Mike.
Because listen, it's like, I don't want to say, because I'm all about mental health, but we all know like guys that have been to war, guys that fought, they like just little things bring back memories. So if he hears a bell, ding, he might think he's back against Michael Spinks. You know what I'm saying? He really might just hearing that bell might just bring back old Mike, and bring back old Mike, Jake Paul's in trouble.
I want to see him give the 2 greatest rounds ever, but I don't want him to run into anything, like
here's the thing with Mike.
Neck movement.
Here's the thing with a lot of fighters that they have been plagued with Mike over his years. Mike is very aggressive. So in a lot of these fights, you're not used to, a lot of fighters try to work their way into it. Mike is very, very aggressive. So within the first 5 seconds of the fight, you'll know what's happening.
And if he hits Jake Paul with one of
those, that's the thing I'm worried about.
Hoping for.
He's 58, dude.
Okay, Leroy. Mike's not going for the face all the time. Did you see what he did to Roy Jones' body? Roy Jones said he was urinating blood for a good week and a half.
The one thing that I saw that I thought was interesting from the lead up, and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Literally, and I can't believe I'm like stylistically breaking this down. This is embarrassing for me. But I was watching the back and forth. They basically, Jake Paul was saying that when he lost the Tommy Fury fight, all of his coaches rats off a ship. And so he ended up getting new coaches and he ended up fighting these fights. We fought like a couple, tomato cans that he got first round knockouts against, and he ended up knocking out Mike Perry. And they said like they really broke down all of his fundamentals and like tried to restart things. And I was thinking to myself, and it's actually his mom made this point. She's like, he's got a lot of boxing institutional knowledge. This man's literally been boxing since he was a child. And I just felt like, I think Jake Paul's going to forget all of this stuff, this new stuff that he's learning, because it just feels too soon that Mike's just always had, because he's literally grown up with this. This is what he's had since he was a teenager, before a teenager, And so that made me think like Jake could mess up somewhere and Tyson could get him.
Right.
Duh. That's the only thing.
However, he's
60.
Right. So even if he gets him, is he going to be able to get him to the point where he's going to hurt him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, listen.
I'm telling you, the move has to be today. They announced the gloves are small. That's
listen, Tobin. I'm sorry. When a guy with that wealth of knowledge,
of course,
I'm not. But let's put it this way, okay? First of all, you see how my size, right? But I'm not going to be able to tackle 50-plus-year-old Leroy right now. Okay, even if I train.
I saw his other.
Hey, it would be kind of fun. Make me feel like I still got it.
That was the other. This is the thing. I'm getting roped into it too, because I want to see Mike Tyson knock him out, obviously. But I was getting roped into it too, because I was like reading some quotes from his old coach, BJ Flores, who I've spoken to about Jake before, and he goes, I was reading quotes. He's like, I don't like him at 225 pounds, Jake Paul. Like there's a reason he was a cruiserweight.
Oh, he's gained a lot of weight for this
fight. A lot of weight that you've never fought with before.
And you don't know how to really move with that.
And Mike Tyson even said that.
He looked bigger than that.
That's the only reason. The vast knowledge that Mike has against this guy, they have to set these. There's going to have to be stipulations to protect Jake, just as much as there's probably going to be stipulations.
There is the big gloves.
But Mike Tyson's been in there with literally the biggest of the big.
And
he's not fighting little welterweights or ballooned up middleweights and ex-UFC fighters. But he is 58. Like, I don't know. I can't get past it. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, he's too old.
But does he not have over 40 years of boxing knowledge?
He might have to go take a pee in between rounds. That's how old he is.
Right now, that's funny. But
they should do some product placement in the corner. It'd be like,
he like
have to be 2 buckets.
They go, all of a sudden, Emmett Smith shows up and he goes, Emmett Smith here for Depends.
I know you're not going to do it now, but that would have been a perfect time. This is the type of show where Blue Chew would definitely.
Oh, dude.
The Blue Chew would definitely needed for tomorrow's show for that event.
We'll take a break. Thanks again to Bo Nickal for stopping by. Chris Weidman's going to join us next hour as well. So we'll talk a little bit more fighting with him. And we'll take a break into some Dolphins as they reacted to Softgate. They were called soft by their former player. And the Dolphins have responded. We'll get to that coming up. Hour 2 is next. Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you.
Who we got there?
Woo.
Got a couple of little loose cannons in there.
Woo.
I think between him and who's our young fella? Bo Nix and Xander. That's my 2 favorite guys.
Oh, yeah. Bo Nickal?
Yeah.
Bo Nix.
You called him Bo Nix.
It's close.
Oh, did I? Bo Nickal. He does have those
Mm-hmm.
wrestling ears, though.
They tough called Tobin Bo Thickle.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Teos, and the Atlas. Remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. The Dolphins back on the practice field today, getting ready for the Las Vegas Raiders. They suck. Also awkward because, Leroy, do you recall this earlier in the year? Their head coach is Antonio Pierce. And, well, he does not believe the quarterback playing against him this week should be playing.
A broader question. I don't know if you watched the game last night. Saw Tua suffered another concussion. You have players, not every player is different, but when somebody has a history of concussions, do you handle that any differently as a head coach?
I'll be honest, I'll just tell him to retire. It's not worth it. It's not worth to play the game. I haven't witnessed anything like I've seen that's happened to him 3 times. Scary. You can see right away the players' faces on the field. You can see the sense of urgency from everybody to get Tua help. I just think at some point, he's going to live longer and he's going to play football. Take care of your family.
And while it may seem like that was in good intentions, maybe all along it was to lead to this Week 11 matchup. He didn't want to face him.
I would say this is that as a player, I think we need to do a better job of understanding the position that Tua was in and respecting, what we've gone through, right? For other players to tell somebody what they should or shouldn't do, when nobody said that when T.O. had to sign a release to go out there and play with a pin in his ankle, the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? There's been a lot of situations where, and I get the head injuries are different, and that's the hot topic right now. But as a player, I understand, why you do it. And everybody make it about the money. Oh, you got plenty of money. You don't do it because of the money. The money confirms what you're doing, but you don't do it just for the money. And I think other players who understand that should probably be a little more sympathetic to what Tua was going through and the decision that Tua had to make. I mean, nobody said that when who's the linebacker who had a stroke with
Teddy
Bruschi. Okay,
I think people did say that, actually. I think people did say that.
Because he took the rest of that year off. He was back the next year. Yeah. So, but here's the deal: is that Teddy had medical professionals advising him, not other players.
I don't think Antonio Pierce cares at all. I think he just wanted to face Skylar Thompson.
Tobin, don't you? I mean, Leroy, did you not hear what Tobin said?
I think he just wanted to face Skylar Thompson. That's what that was all about.
I
he didn't give a rat's ass about Tua's health.
He didn't care.
He's got Gardner Minshew, and he wanted a fair fight.
You forget who you're dealing with, Leroy. You're giving a true, profound, concise, accurate, detailed account of what players. He doesn't want to hear that. He wants to hear that Antonio Pierce was scared of Tua.
I think he is scared of Tua. Why else say it? No head coaches say something like that.
Vlad, I knew that. I knew that, but I have to be me, right? I can't buy into that craziness, right? That man. Hey, let me ask you a question.
What?
You think any athlete out there is afraid to face any other athlete?
He's not an athlete. He's a coach now.
Even more so. You think he afraid? You think he gonna ever say to anybody, "Ooh, that Tua, he scares me."
I think they were fresh off a win against the Ravens, okay? And he looked at that schedule. He goes, "Hey, that's a win. That's a loss in Miami. I really wouldn't want to play his Tua again." I should say that he's going to retire.
That will be an awkward conversation before or after the game.
Not really, because
Tua,
because again,
I'm actually surprised nobody asked Tua about it.
Here's what Tua's going to say. You ready? He's going to say, "Look, everybody had their opinion as far as I'm concerned, but it was my decision." That's it.
I think what Tua should do.
Okay. Say, "Keep your name out my mouth."
No. Here's what you do is, all right, we got to bring back something that isn't really allowed anymore, but we got to bring it back. Speaking of TO, we need to bring back the touchdown prop. And so what we do is Tua, he throws a couple tutties against the Raiders, Leroy, and then I want Tua to take out one of those canes, but the ones with like the tennis balls on the bottom of them, and I want him to walk by Antonio Pierce with his back kind of hunched, you know?
That won't create a fight.
Or somebody plants a wooden rocking chair in the end zone for Tua, and somebody and then Tyreek comes and puts a blanket on him, you know? What? Oh, all of a sudden we can't bring back props?
You want to bring a rocking chair on the field?
I think that'd be funny. That would be funny.
What is wrong with you?
Why not? We just unveil it.
Like, where do you get a rocking chair from? Like the rocking chair is just right there.
Look,
in the tunnel, and the minute he scores,
easy answer.
Comes.
Oh, okay. You think it's not easy? Okay, here's all we got to do. We hail Zach Sealer to take his pickup truck. I'll be like, and Tua calls him up. "Hey Zach, I got a great idea. So I'm going to throw a couple tutties today against the Raiders. I need you to stop by Cracker Barrel. Get me a couple rocking chairs at the front. You know, just throw him a couple extra bucks right there. Just take the display model." And then Sealer's like, I got you, Uno.
So on his way to the stadium, he
Mm-hmm.
stops by the Cracker Barrel right there off Sheridan, right there on Davie, right by the 75.
Mm-hmm.
And then he grabs himself two rocking chairs?
Two rocking chairs, one for each end zone because you don't know what side you're going to be on.
So you got one in each tunnel. One in each tunnel?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you. Let's go.
Exactly. And so you plan them on each end zone. So after Tua throws his second tutty, he gets into the rocking chair, and then somebody throws a nice warm fleece on him as if he's taking a nap like an old man.
Like he's
And then Kevin Harlan's gonna be like, "What is this for?" And then they'll have to play Antonio Pierce's comments and be like, "I bet he feels a fool now."
So you they're gonna throw something over him like he the king of soul?
Yeah, you got because the
old you gonna throw him like he James Brown?
Well, the old love a blanket and rocker. So I just think that's what you need to do.
Hey,
you just need to borrow your rocker.
Hey.
That's right. Exactly. Don't tell me to retire. You retire from coaching Antonio Pierce.
I always like a little something on my legs. I don't know what it is.
We'll take a quick break. Back after this. Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Whiskey Stars and Cigars is almost here. It's next Wednesday. It's presented by WQM and Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. Join us November 20th at our new location, Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. You guys can enjoy a sample of Aberfeldy 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey and a cigar from Drew Estate. That is coming up next Wednesday, November 20th at Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, your 2023 Dealer of the Year. Sponsored by the main man. There's nobody to help you flip your biz and cash out big than the main man and the injury law firm of Cohen & Judah, where a partner handles every single case. Call 866-FAIR-FEE. We're on the case of the Dolphins trying to beat the soft allegations thrown out by one DeShon Elliot. Spelled
You know what's crazy?
Yep.
I played for 3 different franchises. And although a couple of them didn't end the way I would have liked, I've never had anything bad to say. Right?
Oh, about the teams you left?
Or the people.
Except for Cleveland.
I never said
the
nothing.
The situation.
The situation was bad.
But not the people.
But I never said nothing bad about, even the owner or the coaches or whatever. Yeah, that sounds like hurt feelings.
It does sound like hurt feelings.
You know what I mean? It's like if you date somebody for a long period of time and then break up with them and then all of a sudden you call them trash. Well, you were with them. Why were you with them so long then?
Well, we're emotional people, Leroy. We gotta get over the hurt.
I'm just saying that's not.
He definitely went
there's
behind.
Emotional and there's petty.
He definitely
would have said that right after the season.
Well, there's emotional petty too.
All right, I got you, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying. You're right, but I'm just saying what's gonna happen is he's gonna, you know how it is. Hoping they'll talk about it, and in another year or two they'll take back the comments, especially if they're on the street and the Dolphins have a job opportunity. Oh yeah, you want to mend fences.
But guess what? When players would do that, I'm like, don't come and dap me up before the game, right?
Facts.
Like you gonna trash with you seem like you was having a good time. You was here till they cut you, or they traded you. So don't then all of a sudden want to trash the people that your boys that you was with. You know what I'm saying? Like he not only talking about the franchise, he talking about the players.
The players.
So he calling all the guys he was hanging out with, thick as thieves and whatever. He calling them soft.
Typical rap behavior, dude.
So yeah, but that's no. I ain't like that. Just sounds while you trying to make your point, it makes you look worse because you got hurt feelings that you ain't there no more. That's what it sounds like.
Here was the snowman, Jevon Holland, who, by the way, has been playing through a broken hand and
that's not tough.
He's not tough though. He's not tough.
He got a billy club.
He's not tough. Jevon Holland responding to the comments of his former meeting roommate, DeShon Elliot. And this is what the snowman had to say.
I don't know if you've seen about this on social media, but a guy who was in your room last year, DeShon Elliot, said on a podcast, he said, the team I was on last year, the majority of the team were not mentally tough individuals. They were soft as bleak. Have you heard that he had made that comment? What's your reaction? Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I heard him make the comments. I saw the clip. I mean, honestly, man, if you want to call somebody out, go ahead and do it and drop names. But other than that, I mean, it's whatever makes you, whatever makes your boat float, whatever allows you to have, a good night of sleep. And as it is what it is. But if you're not naming nobody, you're not calling nobody out, then all the rest of the comments is just empty. He's just talking at that point. So, yeah, I wish nothing but the best for DeShon. He's having a great year. So I hope he continues that success. But other than that, I mean, it really don't mean nothing to me. So,
man,
that's it. See what I'm saying? Like, unless he gonna call somebody soft, which he ain't gonna do, then I'm like,
hey man, he had 2 busted knees, Vlad.
I'm just saying,
hey, Hey,
all I know
wow.
it was more Kia Hollywood appearances than games last
Man,
season.
so you saying that he played more with Hockman than he did with DeShon Elliot last year?
I think his Dolphin teammate last year was Channing Crowder.
I don't like that.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. If he's talking about last season, that's the only thing he can talk about.
I think the thing is just like, look, it's not something that hasn't been thrown at the Dolphins. Hell, Poyer said it, nicer coming into the year, and they talked about the whole bully mentality thing. I think if anything, like, look, bulletin board material, even if it's from a team you're not playing, I think Mike McDaniel could probably use this as fuel in a positive way. But I just thought it was just kind of sleazy. Like,
I told you what it was. It was like, first of all, you play on a team that's 2-7, right?
2-6.
So 2-6. So my question to you is, how tough have you been?
Who?
Oh no, not him. Now he's on the Steelers.
He's on the Steelers.
Oh, you talking about?
He was
why we talking?
Yeah. He was
No,
talking about.
balling. Never mind.
No,
But still, it just seems like, like, again, I went from a terrible team when I was in Baltimore to a team that ended up in the NFC Championship game, and another team that went to the playoffs.
But none of your teams were ever labeled soft.
Huh?
None of your teams were ever labeled soft. Whether it was the 15-1 Vikings, they might have had all the talent in the world, but they were never considered soft.
Yeah.
I think the one, and
they were never considered
soft. When you call somebody soft in sports, it's like when boxers. If a boxer calls another boxer soft,
right?
Like the job entails toughness.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that to take that shot, pretty much, Jevon said it the best, is that if you ain't gonna call nobody no names and just make just random, general comments,
but
right? Like you had to view the whole team.
What do you think is the worst comment though? Like, is it the mentally soft thing, or is it him claiming that people checked out after the Titans lost? Like that the team kind of lacked. He didn't say but he was basically like, it took the heart out of us after we lost that Titans game.
Those things happen in sports. It's not a soft thing. You don't even realize it's happening when you just can't get rid of that. It's like, how long did it take the Canes to get over that Georgia Tech loss last year?
Very clearly they did not.
They haven't.
You see what I'm saying? So,
but what is there a label that the Canes are just dumb all of a sudden now? Like,
no,
there's no label.
But here's what makes you soft. You can say what you want about soft or not. When a team run for 200 plus yards against you,
that's not tough.
That is the definition of soft. No matter how you put it, But
there was definitely issues in that defensive room last year too. Like, they didn't seem to love Vic Fangio, or maybe Deshaun Watson, or maybe DeShon Elliot thought there was too much whining from the guys who because everybody was kind of at a spot where Xavier Howard's come out publicly against Vic Fangio. Jevon Holland very clearly didn't like him. Jalen Ramsey very clearly didn't like him. Maybe he's one of those guys like, hey, shut up, let's do our job. I don't know. Maybe that didn't go well with him. And a guy like Mike Tomlin, very clearly that guy is no nonsense. Everybody kind of falls in line with him. That's just how it rolls. And I think maybe what it was is very clearly the guys in the defense were not happy with how it was being run last year.
Right. But to put that on Mike McDaniel when in the end they got rid of the coach.
Right. But he wasn't there. Well, he wasn't there for them getting rid of him. And also, like, maybe the defenders, I think there's probably part of them that looked at the offense and be like, oh, the offense gets input. The offense gets to say this. And it's kind of like, the players get a big say in it. And maybe DeShon Elliott looked at all of the Dolphins whining and he's like, this is soft, man. Why are we being such crybabies all the time? I don't know.
Not to piggyback on your
I would say this. I would say this, though. For as much as the defense complained, they were not bad
last season,
which is
top 10 defense. That's what I'm saying.
Which is crazy. That and so as an athlete, sometimes I'm put in a position where I feel that I'm not able to do what I do best. But if your team is having success, you kind of have to eat it. That's the only problem I had with the way they were going back and forth with Vic Fangio, is that you can say what you want about Vic Fangio, but it's not for lack of production.
Yeah.
I give you a perfect example. Nick Saban was the defensive coordinator when I was in Cleveland with Bill Belichick. They hated him. Hated him. Top 5 defense every year. Hated him, though. They all cried like babies when he left. You see what I mean?
That's a case in point. Like Fangs,
Right.
Everybody hated Fangs, but guess what? Fangs had you as a top 10 defense. And what's his name? Elliot could be talking. It's easy to talk now when you see that the Dolphins were struggling. Fangs has a top 5 defense with Philadelphia, and you're on a team.
His credentials are tried,
right,
man. Like you can't. We can say that it didn't work well for whatever reason, but the guy is credentialed as a defensive coordinator.
But
Nobody can say otherwise about that. And the guy literally was playing with dudes off the street by the end of the season.
And Elliot now is on a Steelers team that's, in the playoff hunt, that was in first place, half game behind the Ravens. So it's easier now to talk when you're seeing success and the team that you left is struggling. But
we got a big MMA card coming up this weekend. All right. You don't want to be tapping out in the bedroom, dude. All right. You need to be able to go the distance and finish the old rear naked poke. That's why you need to try Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but don't do that face, Leroy. Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Now you can chew it and do it.
Did you just accuse somebody of doing a rear naked poke?
He just said rear naked poke. That's a new definition of ground and pound now.
That's the point right there, Vlad. Whether you're married, you're looking to spice things up, or you're sick of trying to impress somebody new, you want to feel like a champ, try Blue Chew. And I got a great deal for all our listeners out there. You guys can try Blue Chew for free when you use the promo code SHOWPONY at checkout. Use the promo code SHOWPONY at checkout. You're paying just $5 for shipping, but you are getting your first month of Blue Chew for free. So go to BlueChew.com, use the promo code SHOWPONY. You're getting that first month for you for free. And speaking of MMA, the great Chris Weidman is going to join us next. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. I apologize. Schmeathan says that we're all infants.
What do you mean? I might have been your best read.
Too immature, I guess, for old Schmeathan Schmolnick.
Oh yeah, he's got a grip on. He got a good grip on adulthood.
Leroy, can you get a weather update from the Demesman and
Sure
Dover
can.
YourAccentAttorneys.com, free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
As I got up this morning to do my normal morning outside stuff, I realized even though the temperature is warm, there's a cool breeze, which means there's no humidity. Humidity is quite low. That means there's a slight chance for rain. Start there. The winds are whipping, however, and they're coming out of the east at about 15 plus miles an hour. But like I said, it felt cooler, but it's still 80, 85 degrees. So the only reason why that could feel cooler is if there's no humidity.
How do you do?
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a first for everything.
What did I miss?
It's 81 degrees.
Wow. I said 80, 85, didn't I?
You said 85. You didn't say no 80 to 85.
Okay,
You said 85. That's 4 degrees below. So for the first time ever.
Surprised it's not cooking already.
You were a little off.
When do we get a cool? Can I get a 60s morning? Can I get a 60s morning anytime soon?
A couple of weeks ago, it was right around 70.
Like, let's go.
But down here, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. So in the middle of the summer, it could be 80 degrees and it feel like it's 95 because of the humidity and feel like you got a blanket over your face all day. This time of year, it could be 80, 85, but it feels cooler because you got that breeze and there's no humidity or very low humidity.
Very low humidity. We're expected to be joined by UFC former champion Chris Weidman here in a matter of minutes, as he's going to be fighting at UFC 309. He's making his return to New York. He's, of course, a native New Yorker, won the championship against Anderson Silva. We had Bo Nickal on earlier in the show.
Jon Jones was at the Garden last night.
He was at the Knicks game?
Yes.
All right.
He was at the Knicks game and signing autographs, taking pictures.
Kind of interesting thing going on, man, with this whole Tom Aspinall thing. Like, he really does not. He's really like something. Whatever Aspinall said that bothered him. He's like he walked out of an interview with like some British television network. He goes, "You're Aspinall, guys. I'm out of here."
Really?
I was like, "Whoa!"
So there's beef. There's like legit beef.
Seems like it. It seems like it, but I don't know. Look, there's part of me that gets him. Like, he gets to go out on his own terms. He's done this for a very long time.
I mean, he's been in the game for a very long time. He hasn't done it for.
He's done it for Leroy. He was a champ at 22.
Yeah, but how many fights has he had?
John's official record is a cool 27-1, but that's really a bull bleep loss because he got disqualified.
But you see what I'm saying? What is he, 30? How
37.
37. So he'd been fighting before 22. That's when he probably got his record. So he had. Yeah,
he broke it at 19 of the UFC.
Right. So say he had what, 10, 15 fights before then?
His debut, he was 6-0, like Bo Nickal. Well, not like Bo Nickal. Bo Nickal got, and then I think Weidman was the same thing. I think he was like 6 fights in, and then they got to the UFC.
So 6 fights in, and so he's had 21 fights in how many years? In almost 20 years?
Well, he did have a lot of suspensions.
That's my point, though. That's what I'm saying. You saying he's going on his own terms. He didn't really fight.
I think you're dismissing a big career. No.
That's not what I'm saying.
Tyson went to jail. He missed a few years too.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that
3.5
based on being in the game that long, right? He hasn't fought a lot of fights.
A lot of guys don't make it to this age, though.
Right, but I'm just okay. I'm like, again, it's not a knock on Jon Jones. I'm just saying that he hasn't.
He's still got the most title defenses. Obviously, like, you don't think that's a get to go out on your own terms type of guy. If he has only 1 or 2 more fights,
no, I'm fine with it. I'm fine if he only has 1 or 2 fights. I'm just saying that based on that sport being in it since you were 19 and now being 37, 28 fights from start to finish is not a lot of fights.
I'm not upset with that.
I'm not mad either. I'm just saying, I
wish
wish
a big name. You're not gonna fight every Joe, every Joe Schmo right there. You're gonna fight the best, the one that's gonna be the most profitable for you as well. So because remember, when you become champion, you're the champ, so you got to wait for God. You definitely got to defend, but these guys have got to be a worthy contender, and there weren't a lot of like worthy contenders, or if they were, he mopped them out real quick. So
the only real, I would say, I mean,
and the other thing is
DC, or they just didn't like each other.
But they didn't like
that's
each other.
No, I know they didn't like each other, but is that why that became that big of a deal, or was it because they were real competitive fights?
But they didn't like each other. They were both champions in different weight classes.
Well, that's the funny thing is like he's been saying things this week like, oh, Aspinall's been a bleep hole. I'm like, you told Daniel Cormier, I will literally kill you. Like when you guys were roosed together, like that was one of the nastiest fight buildups of all time.
Come on,
I don't know what it was. But I know all of a sudden John's in this Zen plays. I don't know. It's very interesting though. I don't know. Maybe he's just tired of the punk kids. I don't understand.
I don't know. Stipe's a beast though.
I know he is, man. It should be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun fight weekend this weekend. And it's gonna be fun to see this guy in the octagon as well, because he's an absolute friggin' legend. Former champion Chris Weidman joining us here on Toyota of Hollywood Guest Line. Shop hundreds of Toyotas indoors and one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Chris Weidman joining us here, former UFC champ. Chris, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
We were just kicking it around about this whole Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall beef that's been the whole buzz this week. What do you make of this, Chris? As a guy, you've done it all. You want to go out always on your own terms, and I'm sure there's when some punk kids want to call you out and make their name off of you, like as a guy who's taken out a legend and like skyrocketed you. Like, what did you feel is like the responsibility of the sport in that spot? Like, do you take on the young up and comer, or do you get to do what the hell you want because you've been doing this forever?
My honest thought is that I am blown away that that's the talking point everybody's talking about, and then I feel like it's disrespectful to Stipe Miocic right now. I feel like people are forgetting, why are we talking about Tom Aspinall right now when you should be talking about Stipe, man, one of the greatest fighters, the GOAT of the heavyweight division, coming back after such a long time. And I know Jon Jones, he's accomplished more than pretty much every fighter. His resume is the epitome, of what you want to accomplish in a sport. But Stipe's not looking at the things you're looking at. He's looking at all the decisions this dude's had with guys that he would probably just run right through. He had a very, very close decision win over Dominic Reyes, where a lot of people had Dominic Reyes winning that fight. He had a 5-round fight with Anthony Smith. He had a 5-round fight with Thiago Santos. He had a 5-round fight with Oven Saint Prix, whatever, I forget his last name. That's what I'm talking about.
OSP.
Yeah, OSP. I think there might be one other. And if you paired up Stipe against any one of those guys, you'd probably predict that Stipe would run right through them. And I think people are forgetting that's what Stipe's looking at. A lot of everybody else is looking at what Jon Jones did when he came up to heavyweight. He took down Ciryl Gane and finished him in the first round. And so I don't know, and they're looking at Stipe. He's been off for a long time. He's older, but I think they're forgetting how tough Stipe is, and tough mentally, and then a great wrestler too, and then also hits pretty damn hard, man. Great boxer.
Is that because he's not out there like a lot of these guys are? Like everybody's trying to sell fights and everybody's trying to talk trash and everybody's trying to call somebody out. And Stipe just kind of goes about his business.
Yeah.
Right. I think, is that why they forget about how good he is?
Yeah, he doesn't do much media. He hasn't fought in a real long time. And so Jon Jones he's been out there now. He fought way more recently than Stipe. There's, obviously Aspinall who's calling him out all the time. So he's in the limelight more often, and people are just kind of forgetting about Stipe. So much so that he's like a 5-1 underdog.
Live dog in Chris Weidman's opinion? You're a live dog in Chris Weidman's opinion?
Yeah.
100%. If I was able to bet, if I was allowed to bet on fights,
of course.
That's a no-brainer.
Where are you, Chris? Because I was in the building when that injury occurred in Jacksonville. That was crazy, and I imagine you've had plenty of people say like, "Come on, man, what do you want to keep doing this for?" But how important is it for you to be able to do things on your own terms? Like we hear this locally a lot with Tua Tagovailoa with the concussion thing. And he's like, "I want to keep doing it because I love this, and no one's going to tell me when to do it." Like, do you have that in you as well? Like, it's like I don't want you guys to dictate with it. Like I have plenty of stock in knowing when I can keep doing this and how long I want to keep doing this.
Yeah, 100% is going to come down to me and not anybody else. And yeah, I think a lot of why I'm still doing it at this point is probably because of the injuries I've suffered. I've had 30 surgeries, and then with that light break, probably the most catastrophic injury in the history of the sport, the only compound fracture that ever was in the UFC. And everything I had to go through to come back, I just, in the beginning, it was about just trying to walk again and play with my kids. And then it slowly became, like, I got to come back and get back in there. And there was a lot of tough days and moments of doubt, but I persevered. And now it's just like, I'm very competitive. I'm competitive with myself, and I'm trying to do great things still. And I feel good. Like my body's came together. I've learned to work around things and build on things and listen to my body more than ever. And I feel really good right now. In the gym, I'm still doing my thing. It's like I'm not usually, guys start retiring when they're getting beat up in the gym, for the first time, and they're losing to these up and comers, and they're noticing themselves slowing down. Because that's where you spend most of your time is in the gym with all these guys who are training for the same thing that you're training for. And I really haven't slowed down at all. I feel great. So we'll see how I perform under the lights, because that's really what all that matters. But if I still feel like I have more to give, and my body's hanging in there, I'm gonna do what I can. I think it's also like a big part of it, because of the injuries. Like I think it's inspiring for other people to see everything I've been through and what I overcame, and I want to finish strong.
It kind of seems like it has really nothing to do with anybody else but you. You can't go out like that. You gotta be comfortable with how you end your career, and you ain't there yet.
No, I'm not there yet, and it would be a great place. I kind of wish I was ready to retire right now, because it would be pretty cool to put down my gloves in MSG, from New York. But I'm not. I just don't feel like I'm ready yet to do that.
So I was seeing this embedded. You look like a super dad with the landscaping. Like is this something that Chris Weidman takes a lot of pride in? Are you a lawn man? Are you always out there with doing the weed whacker? Like is this something you obsess over?
I'm kind of into it. I actually I have a weed whacker, but I got a new edger with the 2 blades. I never had that before. I always would do all the edging with my weed whacker, and it was kind of like all over the place. Now I got the edger, man. Anybody who doesn't have one of those things with the blades, it makes it look so good. It makes it look so good.
So we're sitting here having a conversation with one of the baddest men to walk the face of the earth, and your advice to us is go get one of those edges with the 2 blades.
100%. Yeah. Oh, other advice. I just got, man. I have one of those battery powered blowers. One of my buddies is a landscaper. I used to work with him forever. But now he's got his own business. I got a Husqvarna 580 BTS. Check it out. It's like a commercial grade blower. Oh my God. Like the feeling when you put that on, like I don't care if the leaves are wet, I don't care if it rains, all the leaves are gone. I do my whole front lawn in like 15, 20 minutes. And
oh my goodness.
I could hang out with that backpack on all day long. It's so much fun. Yeah, I want to just do all my neighbors' houses. That's how good it is.
This feels like Chris Weidman.
And I don't have a sponsor with Husqvarna, but if someone's out there, I'd love one. I used to use the Husqvarna blower, snow blower, when I lived in New York. That thing was a beast, but it was a beast. It was expensive, but man, during those snowstorms that they're bad, the pin, I don't know if you guys are in Miami.
I lived in Cleveland though, and Minnesota.
Okay. So you know about snow. there's like these safety pins. If something kicks up like a rock or something, it snaps that safety pin, and it's like below freezing. Trying to change those safety pins and like get it working again because it won't work out. That's a nightmare. And if you don't have extra safety pins, it's a problem. So there's a bunch of times I love Husqvarna because it's legit stuff, but there was times where I was out in the freaking blizzard and my snow blower's not working and I don't have an extra safety pin. There's nothing I could do. I'm down to shoveling, and that was a nightmare.
So it was like the first stop after the purse comes in is to Home Depot. Like, is that immediately where you go reward yourself?
So yeah, probably what I'll do is I had a sponsorship with Greenworks. It's a great company, battery powered thing, battery powered lawnmower I have, and they sent me a bunch of stuff. And the problem is I got this new I put down new sod in my front yard. It's Palisades zoysia. Zoysia is the type of grass, and the zoysia is very thick. I'm sure it's in a lot in Florida because it's a hot weather grass, and you want to cut it low. And the problem is with the battery powered one, it's so thick that it keeps stopping. It can't handle how thick that grass is down low. So I gotta go with a gas powered lawnmower now too. Probably get one of those lawn boys, you know.
Hey, this is amazing. I'm like I would have never guessed in a million years that the things that excite you right now are the things that you can do lawn work with.
I'm an old man. I'm 40 years old. I got kids. I'm just, it's like that's my peace. I go outside Chris, and like my wife's not yelling at me for anything. I
Chris,
can just
tell me this. So I have a thing. If I never want to be bothered, right? Because you're in the house, kids running around, you got the dogs, the wife's yapping at you. If I go outside and pressure clean, nobody bothers me.
Oh yeah, the pressure cleaning.
Nobody want to mess with that pressure.
100%. Nobody else wants to do it. You would have to pay someone else to do it for a lot of money. So you're doing a good thing for your family. You're saving money and you're making things look nice. I love the pressure. I got a pressure cleaner too, man, and I like it. But man, it's such a hassle taking that thing out and bringing it out and. With the hose, the water's everywhere. That's a big job. It's a big job,
but it's a quiet job.
You're right.
It's a quiet job.
If you want a couple hours to yourself, it is the way to go. It's peaceful.
Clean.
Yeah.
Before we get you out of here, you guys can see Chris Weidman this week, UFC 309, fighting Eric Anders. Always a thrill watching him in the octagon. Saw your top 5 movies that you did on your Instagram.
Yeah.
2 on the list have sequels coming out. I want to know which one Chris Weidman's more excited for. So Happy Gilmore 2 or Gladiator 2? Which one are you more pumped up for?
I know more about the Happy Gilmore 2, and I'm really excited about that. I mean, that's such a classic. I love Adam Sandler. Met him a couple times. He's the man. They casted me for Happy Gilmore 2. I was praying to be on that thing, but I think my manager sent like an old video of me swinging at a golf club, and I wasn't too smooth with it, and I'm kind of pissed off she sent that because I think that's why they didn't pick me. Because I had ins. Like, I'm friends with Kevin James. He FaceTimed Sandler in front of me and was like, "Yeah, you got to get my boy Weidman on the show. On the movie." And I was so excited. It was going to be during this camp, too. I would have to, the whole thing was filmed in Jersey. I'm like, all right, I'll go out to Jersey. I'll film and I'll do training on the side. I don't care. Anything to be in Happy Gilmore, too. But they didn't pick me, damn it. But I would say I'm probably most excited for that. I don't know who's playing in the Gladiator 2.
Yeah, right. If it's not Russell Crowe,
that's gonna be weird.
Crow, or he's gonna be like wise mentor Gladiator in this one if he is.
Yeah. I'm interested on how they do that. I don't know if they came out with any information on that yet, but I haven't seen it.
Chris, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Have a good one. Take care.
There you go. Absolute one of the best. Chris Weidman.
See, old people in that weed whacking. Every old man got they weed whacking story. I told y'all. Hey, when I know ain't nobody gonna mess with me if I just go outside. Look, I put my headphones on or my earbuds in and start pressure cleaning. They don't, because it's like they think I said when you first get it, they say, "Ooh, can I try?" And then I say it's like painting your driveway with a Sharpie. Be careful. And they go out there for like 2 seconds. They're like, I'm done.
Gladiator 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Mescal brothers will be in Gladiator 2. You know who they are if you see him. Pedro Pascal. He's the kind of.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And his brother Paul.
They're fighting?
Two of them?
Yeah.
I guess he was just a Mandalorian.
Yeah, one is
Pedro
playing.
Pedro's been in Pedro's in everything.
He has been racking up the
yeah,
gigs.
he's even doing that commercial. He's like, I think it's a Corona commercial, a beer commercial.
Yeah.
I think you know Denzel Washington. He's playing Maximus. and Jamoon Hunsu. He's playing.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
He was in the first one. Connie Nielsen will be playing Lucilla. Yeah, they've got some notable actors here. I think this Gladiator 2 is gonna be good. But you got Denzel, so I'm already in.
I think I'm more excited for Happy Gilmore too.
Well, I mean, come on.
Here.
I love the silly.
Wait, but here's the deal. I give you the same thing with that. What part of Happy Gilmore made the movie? You know the girl that he ended up with at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
she's the star. She was in the star of that sitcom. Something Us.
My bad. They're not.
This Is Us.
This Is Us. I think she was. Not
That's Mandy
that.
Moore, dude.
No, not her. Wait, it's a somebody hit me up. I know it's a comedy.
We'll figure it out. We gotta take a break.
Yeah.
We'll take a break, get reset. Thanks to Chris Weidman. That was a lot of fun. Take a break and back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
So,
yes,
I wasn't off, right? Julie Bowen from Modern Family.
I was like, yeah, you're right. That is her. I didn't even realize. I was like,
I didn't. Yeah.
What was she?
Huh? She was remember the girl that worked for the tour that Happy Gilmore ended up with at the end of the movie?
PR lady. She was the PR lady.
She was the PR lady. That's Julie Bowen.
Yes. Both great roles. So she's gonna be in Gilmore too, though. Has to be, right?
Well,
and that's
she's
gonna be
bigger now. Yeah.
Is Happy Gilmore 2 going to just be on Netflix because he has the big Netflix deal, or is it going in theaters? Because that's a big hit. Like, people are gonna want to see that.
People would rather stay home if it's like, when is it coming out? Is it during the holidays?
I don't know.
Because if it's coming out like during the holidays, people would rather stay home during holidays and just watch Happy Gilmore and laugh. People don't like going to the theaters no more, bro.
What?
Just says sometimes in 2025.
I'm going to see that. I'm going to see Red One.
Is that the Santa?
Yeah,
that's on Netflix.
You're a child.
No, it's not.
What? Yeah, it's a Netflix movie.
I thought it was on.
It could come out in the theater, but you can see it on Netflix. Rock's got to deal with Netflix, man.
Let's see. It says Amazon Studios. You sure, dude?
It's not. No, dude, that's not gonna be on Amazon.
No, I think it's
a movie.
No, I think it's in the movies.
Yeah.
It'll probably be on Amazon in like 2 weeks, though.
No, I gotta go. I want to make the candy run.
Is this an appropriate Christmas movie for my son?
I don't know. He'll like it because it seemed like a whole bunch of fighting some creepy animals.
My son freaking loves Christmas, dude. He's so done with the inflatable turkey in front of our house already. He's like, when do we put up the Christmas decorations? Like, it doesn't work like that. You gotta wait for other holidays, dude. Headlines brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Thanks again to Chris Weidman and for Bo Nickal.
Two good guests. We don't do guests often. Yeah. They were really good.
Chris Weidman was great. I mean, we find out that he wants to be in. He got screwed out of Happy Gilmore 2 strictly for a bad golf swing. That's a great story.
Well, more importantly, we have a lot in common. Y'all don't realize how important that alone time is. When I'd rather mess up my back doing 2 hours of pressure cleaning than sitting in the house listening to all that racket.
Agreed. At any point. So the Dolphins are getting ready for the Las Vegas Raiders. We got football tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagles host the Commanders.
Oh, that's a goodie.
And this fantasy update is sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's is America's favorite vodka for a reason, known for great vodka and giving back, doing good for dogs. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
So how we feeling? Are they playing in Philly?
They're playing in Philadelphia.
Okay. They're playing in Philly.
Checking on the injuries right now. If
I like anytime Saquon touchdown. That's what I like.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna pay much.
You just parlayed up.
I can't believe the Giants let him go to the Eagles.
There's not much in the NBA tonight.
I mean, that you know what? Is that crazy? That's just crazy, right? Can we think of another sport? Can we think of another team that's done something like besides Chris?
It usually works out for the teams, though.
It usually does, but you want to know something?
The Dolphins have one, Christian Wilkins. We don't know where it's going to end up, but
Sealer's all right. You kept Zach. You
got Jack. You got Zach on a deal where he might be knocking at the door at the end of the year.
Oh, dude!
But you see, you got to give them credit for that of getting a guy who's really good and getting them.
They're going to try and pay Zach Sealer and Bass Pro Shop gift cards.
But wait, they could have tried. They could have did that. They could have did that with Christian Wilkins.
Definitely could have.
Yeah, but
last year.
But it sounds like Zach Sealer's got a new best friend, and his name's Calais Campbell.
Really?
Well, no. You know what that is? That's not a new best friend. That's respecting the elders.
Dude, yesterday, Mike McDaniel was calling him the Tom Brady of defensive tackles. And I was wondering this. Okay. What's more impressive? Okay. And I'm not hating. Okay. Just so I be clear, I'm not hating. All right.
Why you shouldn't have to say that. I guess
like
I'm the only one that has to do that.
Okay.
Because everybody thinks I'm hating on Aaron Rodgers.
I think
this
is me personally. I think what Calais Campbell's doing is more impressive than LeBron James. LeBron James, 40 years old in a couple of weeks.
Hey.
Third straight triple-double.
Listen.
Third straight triple-double. However, Calais Campbell is mauling people at the age of 38.
Hey, play with your kid. Didn't talk to me.
What?
Good. Yeah, Leroy. Good. Yeah, Leroy. Yeah, Leroy.
He doesn't get to talk till Calais Jr. makes it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That talks about how long you've been playing.
Yo, fam, he's 40 years old and averaging triple doubles on these kids. There was some kid yesterday that was not a rookie. He was a rookie. He was like 20 years old, and I'm like,
he wasn't even born with LeBron,
daddy. Okay, but very clearly, LeBron James, while impressive in age, okay, he has had a physical genetic advantage on everybody. He's been bigger than him.
Hasn't?
And what?
Calais
He's a
Campbell,
giant.
But it's hand-to-hand combat. It's hand-to-hand combat.
Dude, some of the guys he stand up against their head on his nipple.
No, this is ridiculous. He has to go up against 300-pounders every day. He's
got to go against young, athletic men.
Who did he go up against yesterday?
What do you mean?
Zach Edey?
Jaron Jackson?
Oh, he wipes the floor with Jaron Jackson. Come on, dude.
You see this?
You can't
Tobin.
He's trying to make his point.
Trying to be fair.
I am being fair. You guys
I
are
side
being
with
fair.
you on some of your pettiness when it's funny and it's just
I'm not
good
being petty.
banter.
This is just
obviously very
wait.
impressive.
Just tell him, Vlad, this is just flat out wrong.
This is just flat out wrong.
This is
bro.
not wrong.
This is no way, and in no way, shape, or form am I knocking what Calais Campbell has done.
I think this is more impressive than Tom Brady.
He is a first ballot. To me, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And he's been a tremendous person on the field, and maybe even a better person off the field.
But
what LeBron James is doing,
okay,
in year 22 since July,
dude,
this is not like he hasn't been. I mean, obviously he's been dominating.
Think about this.
Seasons.
Let's just put it this way.
Summer.
Just put it this way. How many years has Calais Campbell been playing? 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
How many playoff games has he played?
How many playoff games has Calais
LeBron
Campbell?
has played enough playoff games to play like 4 more seasons.
All right, dude. Like, but hold on.
I'm just telling you,
Calais
he's played more intense basketball in the playoffs.
Intense
Add up to about
against the Grizz on November.
So time out.
What about the playoffs though?
Hold on.
He did.
He's got 3 consecutive.
Props where props is due.
3 consecutive.
He has a very good resume.
Didn't he go to the finals 8 years in a row? He literally played more basketball than anybody.
Nobody is saying. I'm not saying what Calais is. I'm not saying. Hear me out. You guys you're getting lost in the sauce here. Okay.
No, we're not.
I am not saying that LeBron has not accomplished more as an athlete. He very clearly has a better resume as a professional athlete.
We're not even talking about resume.
I'm not talking about resume. I'm not talking about who's the better athlete of all time. That's not what I'm talking about. My simple argument is what Calais Campbell is doing at his age is more impressive than LeBron James continuing to be the best basketball player at his age.
Really?
What Calais Campbell is doing every day at his age, to me, is more impressive than LeBron continuing to be LeBron.
So are you serious right now?
I don't think it's that crazy.
Wait.
There's so many ways to attack this.
I'm gonna break this down like this, Leroy. So you're impressed at what Calais Campbell is doing at 38 years old.
Yes.
Being still good.
Right. Not good. He's been elite.
Is he top 10?
He's top 10 in my world.
Oh.
I believe he leads the team in tackles for loss.
-1.
LeBron James at his age in his 22nd season,
still leading the team,
can be, and this is no BS, it's still probably one of the top 6 or 7 players in the world.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
World. He was the best player.
It's a little bit
in the world.
Hold on.
Over the summer.
It's a little semantic, Samurai, though. First of all, he needs Steph to save him. Second of all,
thanks Steph for joining the party that late.
No. Well, he did though, and he saved he saved the party because the Serbian was about to take that party from him.
But thanks for joining the party late.
He did though. I mean, like, Steph showed up when it mattered. LeBron was there versus everybody else. He was there versus
LeBron is always there.
That's the thing. He's always there. Remember, he had a triple-double that game. He's always been there.
Dude,
he's been the consistent.
Look, I understand. However, he should be better at basketball than everybody else. Look at him.
Wait.
Calais Campbell.
Calais should be better as a
Campbell.
defensive
He's
end.
ragdolling
He's a
fools.
giant.
He's winning combat.
He's a
in the
giant.
trenches.
He's a giant. If you're doing that on Bron, I'm doing that on Calais.
Dude,
now.
this is a
Let
sport
me tell you something.
that has taken down
Right
many.
now,
Aaron
Calais
Donald retired at
Campbell-
30.
Right now, Calais Campbell is like Debo snatching the chain off of Smokey.
That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Like
Who's doing this at the game?
Debo big. Debo was big.
He's almost 40 and he's the biggest menace on the football field.
How about LeBron being one of the quickest, fastest guys on the floor at 40?
Dude, look, it is very impressive.
shouldn't be
I'm not
dunking the
saying
way
I'm not
you
saying
dunk- he's dunking.
Listen to me. You guys are making it sound like I'm saying what LeBron is doing is not impressive. It's obviously impressive. I just think Calais
You're the
Campbell
one that brought LeBron into
more
this.
impressive. Well, it's a compare. There's very few you can compare this to.
Time out. Listen, and you see, this is. I'm so upset with you right now. Now
Why?
Oh man, it's every
Hey,
show. At least
Vlad,
once a week,
Vlad,
I get
welcome
Leroy.
to my
I
world.
understand Leroy frustrations because this is now you feel like I feel like I got to take a shot at Calais Campbell when I'm not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Then
come
you're a
on,
hater.
bro. And I'm not. There's no way.
Sounds like you are.
But Calais Campbell and LeBron James as athletes are not even in the same stratosphere.
I don't. Whoa.
Am I wrong, Leroy?
No, you're not.
Okay. Hold on.
So when you're saying
I'm sorry.
what's one person,
I didn't realize we were running a decathlon. Okay. I am simply asking at their particular jobs, what should be a more impressive thing? And there are fewer people
because he got 17 jobs at that one.
Dude, listen, basically, Kyle Lowry could go do what LeBron James
Stop!
does.
No, you're
One
not.
time. One time. He could do it, okay? How many people could go out there and be the most menacing person on a football field in their late 30s?
You
And
mean
how can anybody still be the best player in their sport two decades in?
Not the best.
Listen,
It's not the best.
listen.
He's among the best.
Listen, at 40. So I go from being the best for nearly 18 years to just
Are
being
you
one of the
really
top
more-
5.
Let me get this straight.
And I'm old.
You're more impressed.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish the statement.
You know it's not. I can tell by the smirk on your face.
He's
No,
You don't know what I'm gonna say.
no.
You're more impressed by LeBron James dominating Santi Aldama than Calais Campbell going and wrecking Matt Stafford's life.
Yeah, because you know why?
Why?
Because that left tackle or right tackle is not a good tackle.
Get
for him to
outta here,
oh, wait a
dude.
minute.
What do you mean he's
Wait
not a
minute.
good tackle?
So, wait, Santi Adams is getting knocked, but I can't rip the left and right tackles in the NFL that been crap that every team is looking for an offensive tackle? Am I wrong?
He didn't play Ja last night.
Or am I wrong?
He didn't even play Ja last night.
Okay, then.
Ja's got their number.
Ja's injured. No, Ja doesn't have their
Ja's got
number.
their number.
Yo, Lakers always own Memphis. Always owns
Ja's
Memphis.
got their number.
No,
He won the last game against them.
Did he win the series? Because I remember LeBron putting him in. Yeah. Oh no.
A
Look,
little banged up.
little bit. Remember they
banged
were
up.
talking all that trash, LeBron, and then LeBron grown
I would
man,
like to ask. Hold on.
grown man him.
Nobody is saying what LeBron James is doing is not impressive.
You're
But
kind of
you guys are diminishing.
You're trying to diminish what
I am
LeBron's
not
doing.
diminishing.
You're diminishing it.
No, I'm not.
You're diminishing
No,
it.
Here's
I'm
the
not.
deal. Here's the deal. See, and here's where I want to chop you in the throat. Because here's what happens, Vlad. He makes these ridiculous analogies of what a player is doing or whatever. And then when you tell him he's full of it, it means that you're diminishing his guy.
Right.
And so
I'm not diminishing
That's
him.
why
you are.
I
Like,
know his
you
game.
compare. Do you want? Let me explain to you what you're doing. You are comparing LeBron James to Calais Campbell, correct?
Yeah.
You're comparing the
Old
one of the
LeBron
top
to
two
old Calais
or
Campbell.
3 greatest players.
Okay,
but this is
it don't matter.
This is why I can't have a grown-up argument with you two, because you guys are making it a resume versus resume. Nobody
No, we're
would
not.
argue on planet.
No, we're not.
Nobody,
Let's go on
nobody
stats.
on planet
You can go
Earth.
on stats this year.
Not fine. That he gets more games. I mean, it's not exactly apples for apples. So you gotta,
do the
screw your
average.
mind a little bit.
Do the average.
But I'm telling you right now.
So you're telling me that somebody who at that age playing more games
Mhm.
is less impressive than somebody who's
Oh,
playing.
against the Wizards? Like, come on.
Wait,
It's barely a
hold on.
game.
Hold on. Calais Campbell does get 7 days of rest.
You know, Calais Campbell. You know,
and they don't practice on Wednesday because vet day.
No. You're
so now we're gonna
Jacksonville. You know, they play Jacksonville.
What about Jacksonville?
Jacksonville's a crappy team.
Mm-hmm.
They still
got Maulers though up front.
Oh, not
300's 300.
Wait, now you know. Now we know you just. Now we know you just flat out lying.
300's 300, dude.
I love cornered. Yo,
I'm not cornered at all.
You get boxed in.
I'm not boxed in.
Like
you guys are being a couple of LeBron sheep. I'm telling you, right, Leroy. Hold on. Let me get this straight. You don't think that playing that long in football is impressive? Imagine what you're doing twice as long.
Yes, it is very impressive. Nobody ever said it wasn't, but it ain't LeBron James' longevity impressive.
I don't know. I think it might be.
How about so you're basically saying Calais Campbell, LeBron James, and Tom Brady are all in the same.
I think. Mike McDaniel called him the Tom Brady of defensive lineman yesterday.
That's his player. And why are we all of a sudden? Wait? Why are we all of a sudden listening to what Mike McDaniel got to say?
So hold on. So you
to make your point, you would listen to a whole presser of Mike McDaniel when we both.
What I love about Tobin.
Every time we play any of his pressers, we go into concussion protocol.
Right.
Just yesterday, all of a sudden you heard one.
Just yesterday, you were ripping the man. You were
yes.
And then all of a sudden,
very long-winded, but this was a good point.
But all of a sudden, when a point you have, and he kind of backs it up. Now, even Mike McDaniel. Now all of a sudden, Mike McDaniel's the source. He's the gospel now.
So you guys don't think what Calais Campbell's doing is more than impressive than Tom Brady?
No.
Then what? Wait. Hold on. No.
System quarterback.
Leroy, hold on, Leroy.
System quarterback.
Wait. Hold on. More impressive than what Tom Brady's doing right now?
No, at his old age.
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. Calais has never
got
won
more
anything
saying
in
it
his
though.
life.
He gets to touch the ball every play. Like
Calais
it's not apples to apples.
This is why
which would make it which would make it more impressive if he's that old and touching the football on every play.
Nah, it's not more impressive
So
because
you
don't have as many times to make that impact. It's not fair.
What are you
Tom Brady
about?
not working. Tom Brady not working next to Sealer.
Not pulling stunts. He's not doing stunts.
You mean he's got 5 Sealers in front of him.
No, really? He still got to throw it
to Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, who's going to the Hall of Fame. Really? Calais Campbell has to play next to Brandon Peely.
Who's that?
Exactly, dude. He just got released to the Seahawks. Back after this. We're back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Hey, if you guys want to go see Tom Segura and his Come Together tour at Hard Rock Live on Thanksgiving Eve, we got your chance to win tickets. You guys can see him. Just keep on listening to our show for details on how you can win. Also, if you guys like Dave & Buster's, we have a gift card giveaway. It's back. $250 to Dave & Buster's, so you can watch football, Heat, Panthers, Canes, hoops, and a whole lot more. If you guys want to enter that contest, go to WQAM.com/contest and check it on out. Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports at Dave & Buster's in Hollywood.
Twitch got me earlier.
How so?
Because I went, it ain't like Russell Crowe's in there. And then somebody said, oh, he's going to be ghosting us because he's not with us anymore.
Oh, yeah, maybe we should stop talking about Gladiator. The way that we've been butchering that.
All right, yes, they are not brothers. They look alike, though. They almost have the same last name. But
who?
Pascal? Yeah, Pascal. Yeah. They have like
you said he was brothers?
Siakam?
No.
Yeah,
the guy, there's two guys that
Pedro Pascal.
Right.
He was in everything. He was in Game of Thrones. He was in Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's a good actor. And he's like in that Corona commercial.
Yeah.
And then the other guy is Paul Mescal. So it's him and Pedro Pascal. They are like the two lead characters. And Denzel will be playing Macrinus.
I keep looking into my I keep looking at my tree in my yard, and I keep wondering if it is an orange tree, but it's getting kind of late. So I'm wondering if it's a lime tree, which would make me have to go and get a bunch of Coronas.
Who the hell has a lime tree in their yard?
That's what I was saying, right? Like I thought it was an orange tree. I was pretty sure it was an orange tree.
You've never seen a lime tree before?
Wait.
Hmm? Don't do that. Don't.
I mean, at some point, it would have started budding up, and then you would have known right away it wasn't an orange tree or a lime tree. How long have you been wondering whether it's an orange tree or a lime tree?
I've been wondering since like August when I saw the green things on it. I'm like, oh, those are going to turn into oranges, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
You thought the green was
Green
going to
goes
turn
orange.
into orange?
Yeah. No, they don't come out orange. You guys are crazy.
Man,
you guys are silly.
We don't know nothing about movies.
Dude, get Chris Weidman back on there. No, dude. I'm telling you right now, they
You don't know. He's a weed whacker expert. He ain't a.
You don't know that.
Hold on. Do oranges
Bro, of course they do.
Start
green.
Out green.
I used to have an orange tree and then it died. And then we had a new one we planted. And this is the first year where it's blooming, but I'm starting to think it might be a lime tree.
Some oranges.
Yeah, just take my point. Thank you. You're right. You just apologize to me.
Yeah, some oranges are green, I guess.
Yeah, I told you. So
but the ones I'm showing are green the whole time. Oh no, they're not. Let me take that.
Dave says, wait until Leroy finds out what color bananas start as.
I know the bananas start out green because I made the mistake of now.
You go on a rant.
You know you're not from Florida. Here's when you know you're not from Florida. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
And I know people have come down to Florida for the first time.
Yep.
Tell me you haven't accidentally bought a plantain and thought it was a banana.
All right, guys.
I've definitely been there. But I was under the impression most fruits start green.
You're not from you live down here and you eat plantains, J-Fig, not you.
Here it is. Explanation. Unripe oranges are green, but they can develop a variety of colors as they ripen, including bright orange, yellow orange, or even remain entirely green. The color of an orange skin doesn't indicate its ripeness or flavor.
I mean, because usually, we used to have an orange tree, and usually by November it was go time, and I was like,
if it's not go time yet, then you're thinking it's a lime tree.
As the fruit matures on the tree, it develops chlorophyll, which is vital for photosynthesis. Why am I back in second grade science class?
Hey, so now
word for me, dog,
and allows the fruit to absorb sunlight.
So then that's got to be a lime tree.
Cold nights causes the fruit to lose the green pigmented chlorophyll and develop their deep orange color, similar to leaves on a tree in the autumn.
I'm bringing two things. I'm bringing a juicer and I'm bringing Coronas to figure out what this is today.
Remember the juice man?
Oh, do you have little balls? You don't have anything on the tree?
No, they right now look like limes, but I think they're oranges.
Wait, what? What does that look forward to?
She does the old WWE hot tag.
Jennifer comes on and like Jennifer comes on like say, "I'm doing a show today with 3 idiots."
No, if anybody would know about trees, it's the birderer.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, you got to know where to pluck your prey from.
You know where to strike.
No, they just come to me. I get lucky that way.
So no, wait. So limes. So you got to know by now, Tobin.
I would think
the size.
It's a tweener, you know, because they could be like
I
little
don't like you
tangerine
saying
clementines. You don't like the word tweener?
Tangerines, they're rounder.
Are they?
You don't know why didn't you just cut one open?
I think I'm going to today.
Because the inside, if it's an orange, the inside would be orange, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
so
I'll check it out. Did that before you brought this conversation to the show.
It was my last thought when I left my driveway today. I'm like,
you should have grabbed one then.
I should have. It was time to go to the bus stop. You know, I had to take my girl to school. You know, it was just.
Oh my goodness!
Anything to get off the Calais Campbell debate.
Yeah, you look, dude. I was so into it, bro. He walked in the room. I'm looking at LeBron's stats. I'm like, wait a minute. He's averaging 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists on 3 fewer shots.
I never said he wasn't good at basketball. Still, I'm just trying to give Calais Campbell his flowers.
We've all had our moments, Dade South. Thank you for bringing it up.
Take a break. We'll mix things up on the other side. It's time to mix things up, ladies and germs. Tobin and Leroy back with you here, 560 WQAM. Hey, Whiskey Stars and Cigars is almost here. It's presented by WQAM and Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. You guys can talk sports to the QAM staff next Wednesday, November 20th, at our new location, Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. Enjoy a sample of Aberfeldy 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey and a cigar from Drew Estate. That's next Wednesday, November 20th at Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, your 2023 Dealer of the Year. Sponsored by the Main Man. There's nobody better to help you flip your biz and cash out big than the Main Man. And by the injury law firm of Cohen and Judah, where a partner handles every single case. Call them up, 866-FAIR-FEE. Our mixed bag is very Dolphin-centric today. And we will hear from the parties that be. It will be also our little mix here of 15 minutes of Game Day Uncensored, which is brought to you by the Lexus RX, the luxury SUV for those who never want to lose their edge. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. So, of course, we've been discussing Softgate. DeShon Elliot went on a podcast. He said the Dolphins were mentally soft. He said they were checked out. He loves being a Steeler so much. It's so amazing being a Steeler. And Mike McDaniel was asked about it yesterday. And here's what the head coach had to say on the comments from his former safety, DeShon Elliot.
I think, I am supremely only concerned with the 2024 Dolphins for sure. And I think that, every team's ability to be mentally tough in the NFL season is definitely tried. And I think case in point, some of the stuff that we've been going through. And, I think our team played a tough fought game the last 3 weeks and ended up finding a way to win this past week. And I think that's not the easiest thing to do, and just worried about this year's team. And it's cool. You said on a podcast, cool podcast.
Wow.
Why didn't you just say that from the beginning? I had to hear 48 seconds of that.
Well,
you know what's amazing though is I think so many times in life we misunderstand toughness with success. So if you succeed, you were tough.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose, you were soft. And that's not entirely true. You know what a soft team looks like. That defense all year has not played soft. The offense has run the ball really well. That's two of the signs of how tough your team is how well you play on defense and how well you run the ball on offense.
You worried at all because they did not run it very well, and obviously they lost their right tackle. You worried at all about the run game?
I think the game plan was such that the one thing that I still think they need to do a better job of offensively is have a better game plan for the outside stuff. So that put yourself in a position where it's a counter for something else, not where it's the start point. Because when it's the start point and the defense is looking for it and they flowing for it, you always end up 2nd and 15, whether it's the quick pass or not. And that drives me crazy. If it's a counter to the success you've had inside and you fake it inside and they're looking for it, then that's a whole different ball game. But it can't be, let's just try to get it outside, because defenses seem to be prepared for that every time. They've had no success with those outside runs, but they've had a lot more success running in between the tackles. So I would say that the combination of plays that you run and the adjustment to plays that you run, the outside has to be the end point, not the start point. And you'll have more success on 1st and 2nd down, because I'm telling you, 2nd and 15, you're asking for trouble.
Tua also was asked about the comments. He took the high road. It was Tua. Usually polite. Nice man. Here's what he had to say.
I would say every man, speaks for themselves. For him, I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I've been able to have a lot of conversations with him last year. But that's it. Every man has their own voice. They should be able to speak what they feel, and that's how he feels. Cool. That's how he feels.
I would like to know if what Tomlin thinks about this too, because he's like, why are you even going that hard?
Tomlin's not big on the.
He doesn't like making.
Tomlin's big on showing it on the field.
Yeah. It's like, really? We got a Dolphin
here.
Them.
You know what that sounds like?
Hmm?
It sounds like the guy standing behind Debo after Debo knocked somebody out. Right?
The hype man in the champ corner.
But that's what it is. He got to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's doing well. They play football a certain way, and now he's a hype guy for Pittsburgh.
You think him and Stinka just both talk about how much they hated their time with the Dolphins?
The thing that drives me crazy about Minkah Fitzpatrick, he complained about how they were using him with the Dolphins, went to the Steelers, and they used him the same damn way.
I think he was more upset that he was getting roasty toasted against the Ravens for a terrible team.
Well, they were asking him to play, do more nickel stuff.
Yeah.
And that was out of need, which also you have to understand on the team that sometimes when guys get hurt, you're going to be put outside your comfort zone because you're available.
You remember the first 2 weeks of that season? Whew.
Wait a minute. You have a new right tackle, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Elston Jackson's done for the year, dude. Kendall Lamb's keeping the job.
And Max Crosby's coming to town.
He's good.
And we saw what happened last time. They were prepared last year.
They were.
The first I got one thing that you should hear for most of this game. Oh, there's another chip on Max Crosby. But do you know how they combat that, right?
How?
They run games. So they'll bring the D tackle out, bring Max Crosby underneath.
Well,
so they'll start doing games like that when you start getting chipped too much.
Well, listen, I'm not. I never wish injury on anybody.
You want me to tell you a chip story? You want to tell you a chip story? So
sure do.
My job, they always tell you to chip. So
yeah,
we go out there. We had this pass rusher. He was a beast. I can't even remember his name at the time. I chipped him. Got him good. He kind of rolled inside the tackle and went and got the sack. So the tackle said, "You chipped him, and I had him. I said, all right, I'm going to let his ass go." So I didn't chip. And I turned around and looked, and the tackle was on his back like a turtle. I say, "You want me to chip?" He said, "Well, yeah, just get a little piece of him, something to slow him down."
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Look, I don't think he's back, but I'm glad if they don't have to face Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby.
You and me both.
He might be out for the season, but
you and me both.
He had a Jones fracture.
Yeah. And JT the Brick said it's season ending.
Did he? Yeah. I haven't seen anything about him coming back.
No, he's not coming back at all for this game. He was on IR, if this would have been the week for him to come out of IR, the beginning of that 3-week, 21-day practice window.
He says a Jones fracture is a break in the 5th metatarsal bone of the foot. It is the long bone on the outside of the foot that connects to the pinky toe.
Ooh, that hurts too.
Ugh.
Not as bad as breaking a big toe, but yeah, it
sounds like what almost happened to me. Could have been dead foot,
-1.
Mike McDaniel.
Even after reading the definition of dead foot, you still think you had that?
I know I did.
You stub your toe and you got a stinger, or
I almost had
a couple of seconds, and then you walked it off, and that was it.
I had a flare up the other week. I think it almost
gout.
No, it wasn't gout, but it was like
A flare up of what?
Something with my foot hurt.
It's gout.
It's not gout, dude.
That's what a flare up of your foot is, dude.
It's gout.
Is it gout?
It's
We
gout.
doing
Isn't that only from medieval times?
No.
No.
No. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Hey, Vlad. A lot of intangibles don't get that.
What?
Gout.
They get that. Didn't.
Isn't King Henry the most
What are you
famous gout
talking
getter?
about? That is
So
an
that's all they get?
intangible. That is an intangible ailment.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Heat Cold says gout can happen to anyone.
It's mostly happens to the intangibles.
You had gout.
Of Tobin's.
I don't think I did have gout though.
Oh, goodness.
Hmm.
Tobin got a scone fracture.
I hate scones.
I don't like hard, like I don't like them hard, tasteless cookies. Like those cookies we had that you dip in the coffee the other day, J-Fig. They got no taste.
Milano cookies. I'm sorry, but he keeps barking.
He likes Milano cookies.
Yeah, he's letting Tobin know
He wants cookies.
He's got shout.
He got shout.
We'll take a break. Back more for this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy back with you here, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2. Let's get the headlines, which are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock like the Tiguan, the Taos, the Atlas. Remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Florida Panthers back on the ice tonight against the New Jersey Devils. Puck drops at 7 o'clock from Amarant Bank Arena. And I would imagine that Bobrovsky's back in the pipes tonight, but let me get that. Let me confirm that real quick before I just start yammering off. I would imagine that Bob's back tonight, Leroy. Yep. He is back tonight.
All right.
And it looks like Sam Bennett, who had a little bit of a flare-up himself. I don't think he had gout, but he had a flare-up during the game. He
did that flare-up come as a result of a hit?
Truthfully, I don't know. I did not watch the last Panthers game. I only watched the fight highlights, so I'm not
You
sure.
know what's amazing? Hockey is one of the few sports. It's the only sport I can think of, besides baseball, because sometimes it's stepping on the base or pulling a hammy. It's like non-contact. But you very rarely have non-contact injuries in hockey. It's usually a result of contact.
Usually somebody flying into the boards or getting hit in the face with a stick.
Right. Or even when it's a leg injury, somebody hits you.
Mm-hmm. Somebody whipping out there. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, they do all that warming up too. You know, they do a lot of stuff on bikes before they get out there and whatnot, and then
after,
and they do it after. It's why the locker room really stinks, right, Vlad?
It's the stinkiest locker room out of all the 4 sports, major sports.
That's like a known thing. Like the hockey locker room stinks, Leroy.
It's nasty, B. It's nasty. Repugnant.
Yeah,
like
the Heat locker room smells like cinnamon.
Potpourri.
Yeah, it's very lovely. A lovely locker room.
Well, it's only 15 of them.
That's fair.
Dolphins' new locker room. I will say this. Boss Ross, splendid job. Splendid job.
I've never been in that.
Oh man,
nice. Is there
very
waterfalls?
nice, wide, spacious. You know what I mean? Clean. You know, everybody's got their own section. It's nice. I like it. Like you're not. You know, when you're trying to get interviews, you don't want to be bumping into Omar Kelly all the time and or Chris Bray. You want some. You know, you want some space.
Apparently, I was reading from.
You think that space was designed for you, Vlad?
They didn't know I was coming in. I mean,
only for him.
Let's keep it a buck here. I'm out. We speak actual factuals here. It's not like I need much space. You know what I mean? It's not like I need much space. I can maneuver around. You know, that's why you always see Vlad's face on the side. Yeah, my pterodactyl arms will get there, and you'll see the face.
This is
except against Calais Campbell.
This is a crazy.
Wait. Your what?
Pterodactyl.
Here's a tweet from Barry Jackson. This is from an hour ago. It says, gather himself.
I just love how Leroy's
Better him than me. No, it's pterodactyl.
Whatever. Samesies. Closer than you think.
Nope.
Barry Jackson tweets out
illegal procedure.
He says, there is a very loud and angry discussion ongoing in the Dolphins press room regarding whether the Dolphins should order Tua not to try making any tackles off interceptions unless he's simply pushing someone out of bounds. A discussion because of his history of head injuries. Tempers rising here. This is what you guys get angry over?
Wait,
here's the problem with everything that everybody says. They're right. But when you're playing football, you're playing football. And I've been hurt more times trying not to get hurt than if I had just gone on and did what I needed to do. So that's the problem when you go on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to play football. Like, the same guys who were complaining about Tua protecting himself Would be the same guys that say it was only 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Why didn't he just run for it?
I mean,
you understand what I'm saying?
He hasn't shown any fear of running for it so far. There has been no.
Because he's trying to win.
Yeah, there's been no. But I'm just saying, like, I don't want him to run. I'm flat out.
If it's 3rd and 3 at a critical moment in the game, you're gonna tell him just throw it away.
I get it, but I'm just
you can't. Don't get mad at a player for playing football.
I'm not mad at him. I'm worried for him.
Okay, then you can be that. I understand that.
It has nothing to do with mad or anger.
I cringed too when he folded himself up in a ball and tried to go and make that tackle because it just didn't look good.
But here's the thing: like he said, he's like, it was nothing. I didn't feel it. But like, we can't help how we feel looking at it. Like it looked to me like
it's concern.
He looked like he was about to get Masvidal'd by that dude.
Dude, and he's any player that goes up to another player, it's like, hey, dude, what are you doing, man? You gonna hit me? Like, come on. Like he's asking, he's like you begging for friends. Like, hey, guy, come on, it's me. Hey, it's number 1. It's Tua. Don't hit me hard. Don't hit me hard, guys. Don't hit me hard. Remember, it's me. No, it's football. They're gonna go after you. Especially as a quarterback. That's the best. That's the best time they want to hit a quarterback is after a turnover.
I actually think that he's so adorable that some people won't want to hurt him.
No, I will say this. I will say this. I have gotten in trouble, right? On I think it was a kickoff or something like that, and I had to peel back. And when I got the guy on my sights, instead of just laying him out, I just kind of did a screen on him.
Didn't you have an agreement?
And the coach yelled at me to knock. Why didn't you knock him out? I'm like, what's the point?
Didn't you have an agreement with somebody at one point? We're like, hey, let's go down.
Yeah, I had agreement. We was playing. It was in college, and a guy that I played against played, in New Orleans with. He was the linebacker on punt.
Oh, so you guys played high school ball together?
No, we didn't play. We were on the same all-star teams and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so I was the up back for a punt team. And I told him, I looked over at him and I said, hey, don't need to be nothing here.
Wait, what? Wait, whoa. Don't need to be nothing here?
They don't need to be nothing over here. This punt team.
Gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. So we would just go,
we just made it look good, baby. A little tussle.
Like now, here's the difference though. If you rushing, all bets are off. So if y'all got a rush, then I can't expect him to,
Sure.
If you just coming to block me, let's not act crazy. Or and you have that agreement in the Pro Bowl until I got concussed on kickoff.
You got concussed at the Pro Bowl?
It's crazy.
Kickoff.
Wait, Sean Taylor wasn't even playing at that time.
No, I was playing with somebody worse than Sean Taylor. The
Sean
linebacker
Taylor.
wasn't a linebacker from
Romanowski?
Yeah.
That happened in the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
He's a whack.
He's a
He got me twice.
Oh, dang, he is deal. I mean,
No wonder.
He got me once when I was with the Vikings.
And then he got you to the second time?
And then he got me in the Pro Bowl.
He didn't like the tangibles.
I guess not. No.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
remember didn't he punch a guy?
He spit in somebody's face.
Yeah, I'm
On a
telling
Monday
you.
night.
He's got one of them voices too. Really annoying.
Well, wait a minute. When I think of Bill Romanowski, I kind of think of Chael Sonnen at the same
He does sound a little like Chael Sonnen. Yeah, but even whinier than Chael does.
Right, but they both kind of have the same.
Are they from the same areas? Like
I don't know,
Portland thing?
I don't know, but they have the same mindset, and thought process and And
but it don't even see that stuff didn't bother me. The stuff that bothered me with him was when he got done bragging about all the stuff he took and did.
Also, like
when he didn't get caught.
Yeah, yes, baby. Y'all would y'all love that.
Listen, you had a career, you got away with some stuff. Let it go. Don't then turn around and look back and brag.
And if you guys want to go see Tom Segura, he's bringing his Come Together tour at Hard Rock Live. Caller number, JF, what should we give it to? Caller number 6?
I was going to say 6, actually.
6. Caller 6 to 305-567-0560. Caller 6 to 305-567-0560. You get a pair of tickets to go see Tom Segura and his Come Together tour at Hard Rock Live. Thanksgiving Eve. And if you guys want to win those tickets right now, caller 6 to 305-567-0560. I want to let you guys know we've heard it all, man. Men have to be strong and men have to be tough. But when it comes to our health, we need to be smart, especially if you're 45 years old or older. That's why we want to invite you to join Alonzo Mourning and other special guests, including Dan Marino and Ed Jovanovski at the Miami Heat Men's Health Summit on November 16th and learn how to take a proactive approach to your health from some of the country's most renowned health experts. Plus, you get to enjoy fun activities, giveaways, raffles for autograph prizes, and more. There's no time to waste. Come and get your health screening like Alonzo Mourning did, and it saved his life, and it can save yours. It's go time. It's Zotime. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/Zotime. That's baptisthealth.net/ZOTIME. All right. It's time to shake our tail feathers. Time for little goosies. No goosies. Leroy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Last night, Leroy, Victor Wembanyama had a 50 burger.
Ooh,
he hit 8 3-pointers.
Yep.
He appears to be really awesome at basketball, like everybody predicted. Does that give you goosies or no goosies?
It does, seeing a guy who might be the tallest in the NBA play nowhere near the rim. It's awkward to look at, but he's very productive. It does.
Goosies. Different ways to skin a cat. You know, he's hitting threes. Giannis gets to the line 25 times.
Yep. And
Well,
he's
one guy
what, 5 inches taller than Giannis?
But he doesn't need touch. He's like,
no, it's crazy. Because I'm watching him shoot the three, and I'm like, why are you jumping?
Friggin' ridiculous.
Like, why are you jumping?
It looks like he's on a toy rim.
Like, why are you jumping to shoot your three? And it's nothing going in. It's going in, nothing but net. Cash.
You know what's going to be a problem, though? He just shot 16 of them. He's going to feel froggy now.
You know why you can feel froggy? There's no pop.
No pop. Pop hates it, you know? Pop hates
he would tell him, get your big ass down there. And he's, but there's no pop. He can shoot threes all he wants.
Man. Speaking of basketball, does that give you goosies, Leroy, by the way?
Yeah, I said yes.
JP, goosies?
I agree. Goosies.
Goosies. Vlad?
Goosies
galore.
I got the goosies. He's a fun watch.
Fun to watch.
He's a fun watch. I can't deny it. Number 2 here for Goosies, no Goosies. The Heat. They've finally revealed their City Edition uniforms for the season. I believe Jennifer has some photos here for our audience. They are the Miami Heat culture jerseys in red this season. They were black last year, so they are sticking with the Heat culture theme. Leroy, do the new City Edition uniforms for the Heat, worn here by boy wonder Tyler Hero. Is that goosies or no goosies?
It's goosies. I've always liked the red uniforms, so they're not going to be as flamboyant as some of the other teams that went all out, but the Heat have always done well with the jerseys. I'm a fan of the red one, so I got the goose.
Do you like it better than the black from last year?
Yeah, I do.
Jennifer, goosies or no goosies? Goosies.
I say goosies. I feel like they can't really do much wrong when it comes to their uniforms. Maybe He'd always look good.
Vlad?
No goosies.
Why?
I'm sorry. This looks like something I could get at the Nike store. There's nothing. You guys used to have some flair with your uniforms. There's no flair with this. This is
it's just plain.
It's plain. Like, this is the most plain uniform.
The message speaks for itself, Vlad.
We already know Heat culture, but give me some
I got
juice with that.
You.
Like,
I'll be honest with you.
You can get that right now at the store right now.
I'll be honest with you. It's good, but it's not goosies.
Thank you.
It's good, but it's not goosies. I think I agree with
you. Say it's too plain?
It's just I liked last year.
It almost looks like practice jerseys.
Yeah,
they look like intramural jerseys. I ain't gonna hold
you. They don't. I don't know. Like
you could flip it over and the other side would be white.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
They look
So
like
you
know
can
what it is.
If you do skins or skins
So
of shirts, you could just flip your shirt over. Okay,
Look,
you on the white team today.
It looks like the type of uniforms you give at a Hoop It Up tournament.
Look, I know that sometimes the way these work, like I know that the way it works, they got to have these uniforms a year in advance, and they go to the Heat, and the Heat get a lot more pull with their uniforms than other places do. And the details on them sometimes are cool because they put like stuff on the side. Look, did it last year. Enjoyed it. It was goosies. I don't know if it's a 2-year rollout that you need to do with the Heat culture. Plus, they were terrible in those jerseys last year. I mean, a really bad record. A really bad record in those jerseys. It's good, but it's not goosies. I'm thinking it's time to bring Vice back.
No goosies.
We've gone 6 years without Vice.
I'm
ready for Vice. I'm ready for Vice jerseys to come back. I think they need to come back next year with some kind of twist. I'm ready for that.
Some kind of twist when they come to do layup line. That turn off all the lights and they glow in the dark.
Oh yeah, something like that.
That's interesting.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, our next topic. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the show. A spirited debate about Calais Campbell and whether or not what he's doing at his age is more impressive than LeBron James at his age. But Mike McDaniel, he was the spark of all of this. Here was Mike and him explaining why he thinks Calais Campbell is the Tom Brady of his position. Here's the Dolphins head coach.
He's such a unique individual because he's an outlier. I call him like the Tom Brady of defensive linemen. You know, how do you play the game week in, week out for that long of a career, and to do it in the trenches from the 1 to the 5, literally lining up on the center all the way out to the tackle. It's supremely impressive. But at the same time, it's not only his performance, but he's the consummate team guy that knows how to thrive in tough situations. And we have a lot of parallel vision on how teams need to operate and how individuals need to focus on what they can control and all of those things. And I know one thing, it's whatever it means when I say something, if he's saying the same thing with as much conviction as I have, the voice travels a lot further. So I think it's
literally
been monumental. He's been really cool person and player for the organization, and I think he's playing. He's got some fountain of youth going. He's playing as good a ball. He's playing young 30 Calais ball, and which is a testament to how he prepares and huge part of our team.
Goosies galore, dude. He agrees with me.
First of all, can I say something? Mike McDaniel is not going to say anything bad about a 6'8" Calais Campbell.
There's nothing bad to say about 6 foot.
That's in first and foremost. And second, little 5'6" Mike McDaniel looks up every time to talk to Calais Campbell. You're not going to say anything.
I think he's up on his shoulders when they're giving out the game balls.
He might have to be. And the second thing about it is that both he and Calais share the same mindset. So if you have a guy who's 6'8" and has all the respect from the locker room talking for you, yeah, you're gonna respect him. You're gonna speak in adulation about him. So no
Goosies.
No, it's Goosies, but no Goosies for your.
It's Goosies for my argument.
No Goosies for your argument.
It is.
No, it's not.
Leroy.
No Goosies.
What?
You can't. Here.
Goosies.
Call somebody the Tom Brady of their position. I mean, who's the Tom Brady of their position? Robert Horry. Got 7 championships.
Oh, come on, dude.
You know who's the Robert Horry? I mean, who's the Tom Brady of his position? John Sally. He played for like 26 years with 6 different teams.
Disrespectful.
I'm just saying, I love the way you take arguments. And if we disagree with your argument, it makes us a hater of the player you support.
I didn't say you were a hater. I just think it's disrespectful to say.
Not disrespectful.
He's excellent, and you're like, man, he's not the Tom Brady. What is he then?
A solid vet.
Solid vet.
He's the Bruce Matthews of the defensive line.
Wait.
You want to hear what's crazy? I played with his brother, Clay.
Okay. You played with Clay. How long did Clay play?
They played for like 20 years. Yeah.
Okay, then. So he's the Clay Matthews of the defensive line.
Clay played outside linebacker.
Is Clay's in the Hall of Fame or no?
No.
Okay. Bruce is though.
Calais Campbell be in the Hall of Fame.
Let's not forget their kids.
Jennifer, Goosies? No Goosies?
I'm gonna say Goosies because I'm not a hater.
Goosies.
Oh my goodness. Come on,
Vlad.
12:30 to 2.
No Goosies.
Ridiculous.
Goosies for Calais. No Goosies for Mike McDaniel's comment saying that he's the top.
Yes. See, we're not talking about the player.
You're mainly saying no Goosies to Tobin.
We're talking about Mike. We were talking about Mike McDaniel's comments. We weren't talking about
whatever you say, caveat cowboy.
What?
Caveat cowboy. Wow.
Who's that? It's the Caveat Cowboy.
Wait, can I just tell you something real quick? So I was driving down my street. You know how long my street is right there, right? And out of the corner of my eye, on the sidewalk, was a guy riding a horse. Not that big of a deal. I'm in Davie. But the horse was doing like the little show tricks. He was going like the fast step. He was doing the fast step. And I was like, what the hell am I watching here?
Because he knows show pony, so he wanted to show pony it up.
Well, I'm gonna take the picture because I'm gonna take a picture because we have a big horse with a little bitty tiny horse, and they hang out down the street.
Was that the horse saying hi to Tobin? He's like, "Hey,
that's why I'm gonna take a
picture.
picture.
Take a video and a picture.
I thought it was Tobin and Tommy.
I'll tell you what will make you look like a show pony, man. I'll tell you what'll make you look like a show pony, make you style like a champion, and that is a clean, tailored, nice-looking wardrobe.
That's right.
There's nobody better to take care of your clothes than Ara and the great folks over at A&T Dry Cleaners. For the best dry cleaning in South Florida, use our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners. 40-plus years owned and run, Leroy.
And guess what? If you call, get some stuff done. 25% off your order. Just mention Tobin and Leroy. They have a seamstress on site who can do same-day alterations. Not all, just give Ara a call at 954-610-9383 and check what get some prices. In most cases, in some cases, they can do same-day alterations, but you want to get a quote. They serve all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beaches. And again, 25% off. Just mention Tobin and Leroy. Look, they've been around for a while. They do good work. Ours, our guy, big fan of the show. And I promise you this. Once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you'll never launder your own clothes again. Just call them at 954-610-9383.
I can tell you this. I bet you Ara probably agrees with my Calais Campbell take, but that's another story for another day.
No, he wouldn't.
No, I think he would, dude. I think he would.
The only time somebody would agree with the Calais Campbell take is if Calais Campbell was standing in front of him.
I would like to ask Calais Campbell if he thinks he's more impressive than LeBron James.
That's a bit
You know
of
what?
a reach.
I think he'll be very
You know
humble
what?
about it.
You know what, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen? Well, you'll know your answer Monday. I get to go to the locker room on Sunday.
Oh, that's boots on the ground.
Wait, but
Anyway.
you have to give him the write it out for him so he knows exactly what to ask.
Thanksgiving time's coming on up. You want your clothes to look right. We got picture days going on at schools right now. Use A&T Dry Cleaners. Again, that number is 954-610-9383. A&T Dry Cleaners, 954-610-9383, serving all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beach counties. And as Leroy said, you mentioned Tobin and Leroy, 25% off your order. Back after this. All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Want to let you guys know before we get you to an excellent conversation we had with Chris Weidman. If you guys missed it, you guys are in for a treat here in just a second. But want to let you guys know we got Whiskey Stars and Cigars coming your way next Wednesday. All right, next Wednesday. We've been putting it off because of this damn weather. Please. Okay, I think that worked. But want to let you guys know, Whiskey Stars and Cigars is coming your way next Wednesday. It's presented by WQM and Edmore Sawgrass Automall. Talk sports with the WQM on-air staff. Next Wednesday at a new location, Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. You guys can enjoy a sample of Aberfeldy, 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey, and a cigar from Drew Estate. That's next Wednesday. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Automall, your 2023 Dealer of the Year. And sponsored by the main man. There's nobody to help you flip your biz and cash out big than the main man. And by the injury law firm of Cohen Judo, where a partner handles every single case. Call 866-FAIR-FEE. Another man who was give us a fair amount of time, and he was awesome. The great Chris Weidman, former UFC Middleweight Champion of the world. He is fighting this weekend, and we talked a whole lot of fun with the former champ. Here is Chris Weidman. See this guy in the octagon as well because he's an absolute friggin' legend. Former champion Chris Weidman joining us here on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop hundreds of Toyotas indoors and one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Chris Weidman joining us here, former UFC champ. Chris, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
We've been we were just kicking it around about this whole Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall beef that's been the whole buzz this week. What do you make of this, Chris? As a guy, you've done it all. You want to go out always on your own terms, and I'm sure there's when some punk kids want to call you out and make their name off of you, like as a guy who's taken out a legend and like skyrocketed you, like what did you feel is like the responsibility of the sport in that spot? Like do you take on the young up and comer, or do you get to do what the hell you want because you've been doing this forever?
My honest thought is that I am blown away that that's the talking point everybody's talking about, and then I feel like it's disrespectful to Stipe Miocic right now. I feel like people are forgetting, why are we talking about Tom Aspinall right now when you should be talking about Stipe, man, one of the greatest fighters, the GOAT of the heavyweight division, coming back after such a long time. And I know Jon Jones, he's accomplished more than pretty much every fighter. His resume is the epitome, of what you want to accomplish in a sport. But, Stipe's not looking at the things you're looking at. He's looking at all the decisions this dude's had with guys that he would probably just run right through. He had a very, very close decision win over Dominic Reyes, where a lot of people had Dominic Reyes winning that fight. He had a 5-round fight with Anthony Smith. He had a 5-round fight with Thiago Santos. He had a 5-round fight with Oven St. Prix, whatever, I forget his last name. That's what I'm talking about.
OSP.
Yeah, OSP. I think there might be one other. And if you paired up Stipe against any one of those guys, you'd probably predict that Stipe would run right through them. And I think people are forgetting that's what Stipe's looking at. A lot of everybody else is looking at what Jon Jones did when he came up to heavyweight. He took down Ciryl Gane and finished him in the first round. And so I don't know, and they're looking at Stipe. He's been off for a long time. He's older, but I think they're forgetting how tough Stipe is, and tough mentally, and then a great wrestler too, and then also hits pretty damn hard, man. Great boxer.
Is that because he's not out there like a lot of these guys are? Like everybody's trying to sell fights and everybody's trying to talk trash and everybody's trying to call somebody out. And Stipe just kind of goes about his business.
Yeah.
Right. I think, is that why they forget about how good he is?
Yeah, he doesn't do much media. He hasn't fought in a real long time. And so Jon Jones he's been out there now. He fought way more recently than Stipe. There's, obviously Aspinall who's calling him out all the time. So he's in the limelight more often, and people are just kind of forgetting about Stipe. So much so that he's like a 5-1 underdog.
Live dog in Chris Weidman's opinion. Live dog in Chris Weidman's opinion.
Yeah.
100%. If I was able to bet, if I was allowed to bet on fights,
of course.
that's a no-brainer.
Where are you, Chris? Because I mean, I was in the building when that injury occurred in Jacksonville. That was that was crazy, and I imagine you've had plenty of people say like, "Come on, man, what do you want to keep doing this for?" But how important is it for you to be able to do things on your own terms? Like we hear this locally a lot with Tua Tagovailoa with the concussion thing, and he's like, "I want to keep doing it because I love this, and no one's going to tell me when to do it." Like, do you have that in you as well? Like, it's like I don't want you guys to dictate with it. Like I have plenty of stock in knowing when I can keep doing this and how long I want to keep doing this.
Yeah, 100% is going to come down to me and not anybody else. And yeah, I think a lot of why I'm still doing it at this point is probably because of the injuries I've suffered. I've had 30 surgeries, and then with that light break, probably the most catastrophic injury in the history of the sport, the only compound fracture that ever was in the UFC. And everything I had to go through to come back, I just, in the beginning, it was about just trying to walk again and play with my kids. And then it slowly became, it slowly became like, I got to come back and get back in there. And there was a lot of tough days and moments of doubt, but I persevered. And now it's just like, I'm very competitive. I'm competitive with myself, and I'm trying to do great things still. And I feel good. Like my body's came together. I've learned to work around things and build on things and listen to my body more than ever. And I feel really good right now. In the gym, I'm still doing my thing. It's like I'm not usually, guys start retiring when they're getting beat up in the gym, for the first time, and they're losing to these up and comers, and they're noticing themselves slowing down. Because that's where you spend most of your time is in the gym with all these guys who are training for the same thing that you're training for. And I really haven't slowed down at all. I feel great. So we'll see how I perform under the lights, because that's really what all that matters. But if I still feel like I have more to give, and my body's hanging in there, I'm gonna do what I can. I think it's also like a big part of it, because of the injuries. Like I think it's inspiring for other people to see everything I've been through and what I overcame, and I want to finish strong.
It kind of seems like it has really nothing to do with anybody else but you. You can't go out like that. You gotta be comfortable with how you end your career, and you ain't there yet.
No, I'm not there yet, and it would be a great place. I kind of wish I was ready to retire right now, because it would be pretty cool to put down my gloves in MSG, from New York. But I'm not. I just don't feel like I'm ready yet to do that.
So I was seeing this embedded. You look like a super dad with the landscaping. Like is this something that Chris Weidman takes a lot of pride in? Are you a lawn man? Are you always out there with doing the weed whacker? Like is this something you obsess over?
I'm kind of into it. I actually I have a weed whacker, but I got a new edger with the two blades. I never had that before. I always would do all the edging with my weed whacker, and it was kind of like all over the place. Now I got the edger, man. Anybody who doesn't have one of those things with the blades, it makes it look so good. It makes it look so good.
So we're sitting here having a conversation with one of the baddest men to walk the face of the earth, and your advice to us is go get one of those edges with the two blades.
100%. Yeah. Oh, other advice. I just got, man. I have one of those battery powered blowers. One of my buddies is a landscaper. I used to work with him forever. But now he's got his own business. I got a Husqvarna 580 BTS. Check it out. It's like a commercial grade blower. Oh my God. Like the feeling when you put that on, like I don't care if the leaves are wet. I don't care if it rains. All the leaves are gone. I do my whole front lawn in like 15, 20 minutes. And
oh my goodness.
I could hang out with that backpack on all day long. It's so much fun. Yeah, I want to just do all my neighbors' houses. That's how good it is.
This feels like Chris Weidman.
And I don't have a sponsor with Husqvarna, but if someone's out there, I'd love one. I used to use the Husqvarna blower, snow blower, when I lived in New York. That thing was a beast, but it was a beast. It was expensive, but man, during those snowstorms, if they're bad, the pin. I don't know if you guys are in Miami.
I lived in Cleveland though, and Minnesota.
Okay, so you know about snow. There's like these safety pins. If something kicks up like a rock or something, it snaps that safety pin, and it's like below freezing. Trying to change those safety pins and like get it working again because it won't work out. That's a nightmare. And if you don't have extra safety pins, it's a problem. So there's a bunch of times I love Husqvarna because it's legit stuff, but there was times where I was out in the freaking blizzard and my snowblower's not working and I don't have an extra safety pin. There's nothing I could do. I'm down to shoveling, and that was a nightmare.
So it was like the first stop after the purse comes in is to Home Depot. Like, is that immediately where you go reward yourself?
So yeah, probably what I'll do is, so I had a sponsorship with Greenworks. It's a great company, battery powered thing, battery powered lawnmower I have, and they sent me a bunch of stuff. And the problem is I got this new I put down new sod in my front yard. It's Palisades zoysia. Zoysia is the type of grass, and the zoysia is very thick. I'm sure it's a lot in Florida because it's a hot weather grass, and you want to cut it low. And the problem is with the battery powered one, it's so thick that it keeps stopping. It can't handle how thick that grass is down low. So I gotta go with a gas powered lawnmower now too. Probably get one of those lawn boys, you know.
Hey, this is amazing. I'm like I would have never guessed in a million years that the things that excite you right now are the things that you can do lawn work with.
I'm an old man. I'm 40 years old. I got kids. I'm just, it's like that's my peace. I go outside
Chris,
and like my wife's not yelling at me for anything. I can just
tell me this. So I have a thing. If I never want to be bothered, right? Because you're in the house, kids running around, you got the dogs, the wife's yapping at you.
Yeah.
If I go outside and pressure clean, nobody bothers me.
Oh yeah, the pressure cleaning.
Nobody want to mess with that pressure cleaning.
100%. Nobody else wants to do it. You would have to pay someone else to do it for a lot of money. So you're doing a good thing for your family. You're saving money and you're making things look nice. I love the pressure. I got a pressure cleaner too, man, and I like it. But man, it's such a hassle taking that thing out and bringing it out and with the hose, the water's everywhere. That's a big job. It's a big job.
But it's a quiet job.
You're right.
It's a quiet job.
If you want a couple hours to yourself, it is the way to go. It's peaceful.
Pressure clean.
Yeah.
Before we get you out of here, you guys can see Chris Weidman this week, UFC 309, fighting Eric Anders. Always a thrill watching him in the octagon. Saw your top 5 movies that you did on your Instagram.
Yeah.
2 on the list have sequels coming out. I want to know which one Chris Weidman's more excited for. So Happy Gilmore 2 or Gladiator 2? Which one are you more pumped up for?
I know more about the Happy Gilmore 2, and I'm really excited about that. I mean, that's such a classic. I love Adam Sandler. Met him a couple times. He's the man. They casted me for Happy Gilmore 2. I was praying to be on that thing, but I think my manager sent like an old video of me swinging a golf club, and I wasn't too smooth with it, and I'm kind of pissed off she sent that because I think that's why they didn't pick me. Because I had ends. Like, I'm friends with Kevin James. He FaceTimed Sandler in front of me and was like, "Yeah, you got to get my boy Weidman on the show. On the movie." And I was so excited. It was going to be during this camp, too. I would have to, the whole thing was filmed in Jersey. I'm like, all right, I'll go out to Jersey. I'll film and I'll do training on the side. I don't care. Anything to be in Happy Gilmore, too. But they didn't pick me, damn it. But I would say I'm probably most excited for that. I don't know who's playing in the Gladiator 2.
Yeah, right. If it's not Russell Crowe,
that's gonna be weird.
Crow, or he's gonna be like wise mentor Gladiator in this one if he is.
Yeah. I'm interested on how they do that. I don't know if they came out with any information on that yet, but I haven't seen it.
Chris, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Good luck
Chris.
this weekend.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Have a good one. Take care.
Right.
There you go. Absolute one of the best. Chris Weidman.
See, old people in that weed whacking. Every old man got they weed whacking story. I told y'all. Hey, when I know ain't nobody gonna mess with me if I just go outside. Look, I put my headphones on or my earbuds in and start pressure cleaning. They don't, because it's like they think I said when you first get it, they say, "Ooh, can I try?" And then I say it's like painting your driveway with a Sharpie. Be careful. And they go out there for like 2 seconds. They're like, I'm done.
Gladiator 2. Mm-hmm. The Mescal brothers will be in Gladiator 2. You know who they are if you see him. Pedro Pascal. He's the kind of
okay.
Oh, yeah.
And his brother Paul.
They're fighting?
Yeah.
I guess he was just the Mandalorian.
Yeah, one is
Pedro
playing.
Pedro's been in Pedro's in everything.
He has been racking up the
yeah,
gigs.
he's even doing that commercial. He's like, I think it's a Corona commercial, a beer commercial.
Yeah.
I think you know Denzel Washington. He's playing Maximus. And Jimoon Hunsu. He's playing
that's yeah.
He was in the first one. Connie Nielsen will be playing Lucilla. Yeah, they've got some notable actors here. I think this Gladiator 2 is gonna be good. But you got Denzel, so I'm already in.
I think I'm more excited for Happy Gilmore too.
Well, I mean, come
Well,
on.
here.
I love the silly.
Wait, but here's the deal. I give you the same thing with that. What part of Happy Gilmore made the movie? You know the girl that he ended up with at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
she's the star. She was in the star of that sitcom. Something Us.
No, my bad. They're not.
This Is
brothers.
Us.
This Is Us. I think she was. No, not
Andy
that.
Moore, dude.
No, not her. Wait, it's a somebody hit me up. I know it's a comedy.
We'll figure it out. We gotta take a break.
Yeah.
We gotta take a break. We'll take a break, get reset. Thanks to Chris Weidman. That was a lot of fun.